Live from the Streamline Mortgage Solutions studio, it's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Whoopee!
Hello, this is your Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan program. We hope that you will find our presentation precise, joke heavy, and just right. Thanks.
Welcome to the Friday free show of A Mediocre Time.
It's me. Hey, everybody. Titty Friday. Let's do it.
TD Friday.
Thank you, Tom.
We're here.
We're here. We're doing it.
We're doing it.
We're here. We're
What are we
doing
doing?
it. It's we're easing into a massive 4th of July weekend.
Yep.
I know it's your favorite holiday, Tom. Well, right around Christmas. Other than Christmas, I know that you're a big fan of 4th of
Christmas
July.
in July.
I
Yeah.
like 4th of July
You
more
like
than-
it better than Halloween because you're not a dress-up month.
I like it better than Christmas, Halloween, Easter.
Yeah.
Because all those other
You got a
holidays,
good flag. You got a good flag?
I don't have one.
Dude,
Wow.
Did I tell you I'm
Un-American.
I'm
No.
buying one, a high-dollar American-made flag that's all stitched, but it's on back order now, and I will not get it in time for the big holiday. But yeah, having a good flag, I think I put it on the my dad was a big have a good flag kind of a guy, you know. And he would rail against, he and I was having the same railing with Andrea about printed flags versus sewn flags. And I was having a small freak out driving through these fancier neighborhoods in Orlando and seeing these cheap, dare I say, made in other country American flags. And I sounded like a real old man. Yelling. I was yelling crazy.
I heard you complaining about that
Yeah.
there, and then I'm like, does my pop up?
yeah,
again?
it does sound a little old, but I don't know.
I
There's
only
just-
have the BDM flag.
There's just a thing. I'll soon to have an American-made American flag. I'm pretty excited about it. But anyway, that's kind of what we're doing. Let's get into the fun, man. It's weekend. It's weekend time.
I mean, it's 4th of July weekend. Let's start off with a drink.
Yes. All right.
And we're celebrating with some ABC awesome bourbon, some of their premium. They've got
There you go.
some of their own brands.
Correct.
That we're going to be highlighting these next couple months, these summer months. And what is this, Travis? Because Travis made us a cocktail.
Oh, that is yummy.
So this is Cooper's Mark. This is their apple bourbon, and then this is a little apple pie kind of cocktail, stolen off of Mrs. Stewart. And it's going to be a little lemon juice, apple cider, and a splash of ginger. So you're just going to shake it and then finish it off with some ginger ale.
I like that.
And this is Cooper's Mark bourbon.
Correct.
Cooper's Mark's good as hell, by the way.
Oh, yeah, that's very good. You can drink this
that's
just
good.
straight, and it's just fine.
This reminds me of Ken Miller, who's
All
a
of their
massive
bourbons.
fan of a premium brand apple. Might have to grab a bottle of this for our friend Ken.
Dude, this is smooth as
Yeah,
shit.
this is
Yeah,
good.
it
I know,
is.
right?
Yeah, like it was a straight
Well,
up.
but this is how you get really. I hate to be the first F word of the show, but this is how you get really fucked up at a barbecue.
Oh, yeah.
Is you drink because this goes
That's
down.
good for day drinking, yeah.
There's 2 ounces of
is
bourbon
it?
in each
Is
one of these
it?
cocktails.
I mean,
It
it's
is.
light
It is good
and
for day
easy to drink.
drinking, but I would put a warning. I'd put a warning
You
on
got to
it.
put a limit on it or you're going to get blacked out.
Well, this is great. This is
Yeah.
well done.
Yeah, thank
My
you.
guy's the first good thing you've ever done for the show. That's fucking awesome, man. This is, no,
5
really-
years.
No, really, this is really, really well done.
Yeah.
This is.
So if you go buy ABC, use hashtag TDABC if you buy some Cooper's Mark, and you can win a prize. Next up, we need contestants for Shark Week. It came up on us fast this year, so
Yeah, it did.
Ooh, maybe that should be the tagline.
what?
It came up on the
Yeah.
right?
So
It was sudden.
if you're not
Yeah, I like that.
if you're not familiar
I'm
with the
getting
rules,
fucked up today. I can feel it. Oh.
just email Samantha, sam@tomandan.com, your shitting your pants story, and we will submit it.
I feel you
into
pulling
the
My
away.
favorite time of year.
I feel you pulling away from the show a little bit in the of it being so juvenile. I feel you disconnecting a little bit. I can feel it.
Listen,
I can
wanted
feel
to-
the adult part of you fighting because every time you have to force yourself to say it, it's like gagging down Tylenol with my daughter.
We've almost canceled the bit years
Every
ago.
year,
and it
every
comes
year.
back,
I
go,
have begged you, and then remember, if you'll remember correctly, last year at the beginning of the bit, I begged you to can it finally, and it was so good that they pulled me right back in. I fucking love it.
Listen, if we get no entries, we're not doing it. But if
Okay.
we get the entries, we'll.
But
we'll
we
do it.
always get. Didn't we already get an entry from Shart and Randy to defend his?
He's gonna come in as a judge.
Yeah, he's gonna be the judge.
This year.
Oh, what does he
Yeah.
get?
I think we're zooming him in.
What does he get?
Yeah.
Does he get the Michael Jackson Lifetime Achievement Award?
Yeah,
He
what-
gets to help to pick the winner for this year.
Okay. All right.
And you'll get a awesome engraved trophy
It's no bullshit. It's a crystal trophy.
that we send each winner. So if you have a shit in your pants story, or I mean, we'll even accept having to shit somewhere unnatural, like on the side of the
an
road. over
unfortunate
there.
shit.
Yeah. I mean, that's happened before.
Okay.
Anyway, just submit
What's
your
the
stories to
age
Sam.
reference?
Any age.
Okay.
Any
Can
age.
we?
Well,
Babies
not
are-
a
how
baby.
about-
No,
how about-
no babies.
Well, how about teen or old teen, young teen, or how about
Any age.
kid
yeah.
shitting up your car? or
Hey,
something?
whatever it
Okay.
takes. Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. I like that. Shart Week 2021. Whatever it takes.
Bring your shit.
I like it.
And last but not least, we've got still a small amount of the Villain White Claw
I
beer.
Finally
tubes.
got one.
Yeah, we all
Using
got
it this
some.
weekend.
Finally got one of these. This is fucking awesome, man.
And you can fit 5 White Claws in these.
One
and-
for your hand.
Your TD
One for your
bandolier.
hand. 5 on your back.
Yeah, and then throw them on your back like a quiver of arrows.
I love it. I saw Mark. I saw Mr. Villain yesterday.
He's a good guy.
Look at this. Look at their new. This is their
Nice.
brand new America collection.
Yeah.
This comes out today. So if you like this hat, it's got George Washington, I believe, and his team of men crossing the what was it, the Delaware?
Yeah, something
Yes.
like
I
that.
got
Yeah.
my red, white, and blue
And
villain
then
hat.
Sam's got the counterpart to that one. We almost fought to the death over these
I
hats.
like this one more 90s.
And that is a bit 90s. And then I also have on a pair. You can't really see them, but I got on a pair of their shorts. I don't know if I can-
Corduroy boys.
Corduroy.
Oh, yeah.
Super
Look at
soft
that.
Those
corduroy.
are the corduroy boys.
Yeah, buddy.
And it's like Florida corduroy, too. It's nice
Yeah,
and thin.
super light. And so now I'm getting all this free clothing and stuff. It's
Yep.
awesome. I'll be able to quit the show soon.
You can start doing TikTok unboxing videos. You're like, I tried on my villain shorts and
Oh no, those are called what are they called? Like hauls.
yeah.
There's
Your villain
nobody-
haul.
ain't
Do
nobody-
a villain haul
Nobody, ain't
video.
nobody want to see me change my clothes. Nobody wants to see that.
You can make it funny.
If you get any of the Tom and Dan co-branded Villain stuff, it's on our merch site. You'll get a brand new metal BDM sticker with every order as well. So, was the last weekend? My brother-in-law Jetson ran his first full Ironman.
Yes.
And we've talked to him on the show before. And now with modern technology, you could follow each racer. Literally, they all have some transponder or whatever, the GPS thing, and you could log on and just see your family member run the race or whatever. You could see where they are in the course or whatever. So we were following him, and I know you were too. And I also was looking at the weather, and it was a record heat wave that came across because this is in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
This is out west. I mean, they were getting beat up.
Yeah, and so we're like, Crystal was telling me like, Jetson, he just started his the running portion, which is the marathon, right after the 2.5 mile swim and the 112 mile bike ride, and then I was like, he just started it now, and then she's like, yes, and it's 100+ degrees outside. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Because the record heat wave, like he was having to run a marathon of the Ironman portion in 100+ degrees. Anyway, so I figured we'd talk to him today on the show. Jetson, are you there?
Yeah, how's it going?
What's up, dude?
Hey, good to talk to you, man. How you been?
I've been good. How are you guys doing?
Good.
So, tell us about your first Ironman. Now, I've seen you do a half Ironman, and you've been training for years. Now, when I saw that the record heat wave was coming, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah,
like
it
this
concerned me. I thought it was going to be like, well, remember.
How do you? Yeah.
Remember that last Japanese marathon where they just had inclement, they had crazy weather roll through?
Oh, yeah, people died.
And people died. So,
Yeah.
like, when I saw.
A bunch of people died.
Yeah, a bunch of people died. It's not funny. You shouldn't be laughing at that. I'm kidding. I'm joking. And then when we saw the heat wave for you, I thought
got a
this.
good laugh.
I thought the same thing. Like, honestly, we were talking about it here, and Tom's like, "Yeah, it's gonna hit 100 there." I'm like, "Why?"
Yeah, it's crazy. So, Jetson, tell us about it. When did you find out that the heat wave was coming, and how was it? We'll start from the beginning. You started the swim early in the morning, but you knew it was going to get insanely hot. So, how do you prepare for that?
So you kind of sit in the sauna after you swim during training and try, and we've talked about that before with the 70.3 from Colorado to Florida, and seeing how it works. Some people say it works, some don't. But 100, 102 degrees for a marathon, I think you just try to prepare mentally more than anything.
So now,
That's not going to work
Nothing's
for me.
gonna prepare me for that.
There's nothing mentally. I can't prepare for
I'm just
anything
like, nope.
mentally.
what was your finishing time? Because we watched you. It was cool because Daniel found the
Well,
feed.
I was also felling some beers. You want me to play it?
Yeah.
I'll play it. It was
Okay.
completely inappropriate.
Oh yeah.
All right, hold on. Here's the
It
video.
was great.
Hold on. Here's the video. I'll play it for everybody on the feed.
Kermit, you're an Ironman. Jetson Swayze, all right, Jetson.
Yeah!
No, I get.
And coming in for the shot.
There he is
Show
walking.
them titties.
Why would you say
My
that?
goodness.
Why would you say that?
My wife, Crystal was
my
like,
daughter.
I can't send this to
Yeah.
the family because Daniel said, "Show me your titties." Why would he say that? And I'm like, he's crazy.
Because that's how Jetson and I talk. That's our love language, and he's a fun guy, and I channeled the fun. I don't know. I got excited for you, man. I apologize.
So Jetson,
No, I loved it. I saw it shortly after I got back to my phone, and it made me and Mary laugh quite a bit. It was needed.
Of course, right in front of my daughter, like any good dad, you yell, "Show me your titties." Jesus Christ. I'm the bad parent. I am.
so Jetson, what was your finish time?
It was just over 10 hours and 52 minutes.
Dude, that's really good
That is
because,
really
like,
good.
what was your overall out of 1,800 plus people running the Ironman that day? What was your overall finish?
I think I was 153rd overall, and then 32nd in the age group.
Yeah, that's
That's
awesome,
really
man.
good for
Yeah.
your first. My God.
Yeah, I was super stoked on it. On the run, I probably came out a little hard and then kind of hit that wall. And
Yeah, we were
but-
we were following you, and it's funny when you follow other people doing this, you can see different styles. Different people have different styles. Like we had one friend of mine that has done a bunch of Ironmans who would go like 2 hard miles, and then do a slack mile, and then 2 hard miles, and then a slack mile. Like it's different for. I guess everybody's got their own
method.
way that they attack the course. I guess, but grueling.
So what was it like running that marathon in 100 plus degrees? Because I watched you. I saw some
He's
video.
a fun guy. He's laughing. Show me your titty.
Like I saw some videos of you running.
He had a towel on his head, right?
And then I'm like, my God, it's 100 plus degrees, and
It's like being in an attic.
how bad was it?
I think the run actually hit me hardest on my second bike loop. So you hit about 80 miles back in the highest point on that lap in kind of this lava field, hay, this wind-swept disaster. And I just remember going, I still got 26.2 miles to run, and I still have 30 miles to bike. And I think that's the mental game you start playing with yourself, because then you start coming back in from the bike and you get happy again. And then you start on that run and you're like, I got this. And then right around 14 miles, you go black. I mean, you go dark black. Like, I'm not going to finish this. This is terrible. And then you start playing mind games.
Sounds like
Yeah,
torture.
so-
It is.
I was just saying in the chat, I
fucking
ran
hell.
back from the Publix yesterday in the rain with Butler, and I gave up after 5 strides. I was like, I'm about to knock myself out. I don't have a sports bra on. This is bullshit. I just started walking in the rain. I'm like, fuck it.
Sam's titties are beating her up. She's running in
And I'm
the rain.
running across the
She's
street, and all
screaming.
these Baldwin dads are staring at my
Of course
titties,
they
bouncing
are.
up and down.
Of course they are.
I'm like, fuck it.
Yeah, and they're in Teslas too, so it's more enjoyable, not as loud.
Oh, believe me, Travis did tell me. He ran in here. It's like, Sam's running with her titties.
My God.
He said,
Sam's
"She
running
can't
with
run.
her titties.
He left me in the dust.
Guess what? She can't run without her titties.
Yeah, I can't detach them.
Yeah, they're not
That would be convenient,
detachable
though.
titties.
So, Jetson, I'm curious, and I think we've probably asked you
What are
this
we
before,
doing
but
here?
is there an age that's optimal for Ironman?
I want to
Like,
send Maisie now to train with him so she can get 2 or 3 under her belt before the age of 8.
Like, the person that's, I think I looked up the record, and the record is like, is it 9 hours or sub 9 hours or something like
No,
that?
it's sub 8.
Oh,
The pros are Sam Long, who won it, also trains out of Boulder, and I think he set that course record at 8:07.
How old?
He's younger guy. He's 24, but most guys peak out around 35, 36.
Okay.
It took me right around 8 to get back from the Dominican Republic.
Hours?
Yeah. In a plane.
Yeah.
I gotta put
yeah.
that down there. In a plane. Did anybody? Let's get down to brown tax. Did anybody shit their pants?
Oh, oh man. So,
He's the
I guess
best. I
so.
told you he's the best.
So at this race, I didn't see any Browntown due to problems. But that 14.75, like I was saying, sits on a hill, and you can look out over the last 4 miles, and it just looks like ants walking along, dying, people puking, and it was gnarly. But
Yeah.
no poop in this race.
Okay, good.
However,
good. Poop free.
My girlfriend raced Tulsa a month before, and she's amazing at this stuff. And there was a girl running in her race, and it had rained, and I thought that, when she first ran by me, I was like, maybe it's just mud. But there was way too much mud on the back of this woman's shorts.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was just a waterfall down the back of her kit and legs of doo-doo. It was not.
Yeah. I can't.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't care how many medals you put on my neck after that. I'm still gonna feel a little awkward having my pants
I think
filled
a
with
little-
doo-doo.
little-
Never forget.
Yeah.
Jetson, I think you sent me a screenshot because in there's a triathletes Facebook group,
Yeah.
and people were talking about it. Like, hey, did you see the girl that pooped her pants? Like everybody's talking about it.
no,
And then
leave her
she
alone.
went on there, the girl, and she was
Owned
like,
it.
I was the girl that pooped my pants, and
All right,
and she was
own
like,
it.
It was me. It is me. Poop pants.
and she was like, I had a problem. I evacuated everything. I couldn't help it, and blah, blah, blah. She owned
It
it.
made me go faster.
And I was like, God damn, you're a fucking tough ass bitch. She didn't give a
She
shit.
was like, my whole family was there, and I just couldn't keep anything in. I went to the porta potties a few times, and after that, I realized and she just said her bowels evacuated everything, and she just ran the race out.
Does your family stay? Do they?
Did they hug you after?
Does your grandma put a sweater around you? And like, what happens there? I would ask them politely to leave, and I'll meet you at Chili's.
Yeah.
So,
I'll meet you at Chili's.
Hose me down like an inmate. Yeah.
Jetson, I'm curious about the high after you finish something like this, because there's some chemical high you get for a while after, then it crashes, right? Like that's another thing that people don't even think about as well. Like, explain to us the emotional high you get from these things and the crash and everything, and how you deal with that.
Yeah, so pretty big emotional roller coaster. After the full, I'm on a whole other planet, and so I wasn't sure what to expect after the full. And wasn't sure what to expect after the fulls. And when I finished, it was tears and all of that. And then the night before, you you live off sugary goods for 11 hours, and so your gut biome is just messed up. So I had 2 bites of a burrito and then didn't want anything. And I think finally 2 days after, you come out of a funk and you're on that high that you get like right after a half, and you can start eating again. And now I've had a few days off, and a couple sakis later, and you kind of ride this roller coaster of depression and happiness and depression. And
I do that anyway.
It's
Daniel's
honestly, you're just yeah. Thank you, Tom. I was going to say Tuesday too. It's so funny that we are linked up because that is my Tuesday.
It's a basic Daniel Tuesday until you start training again.
See, it's weird because I don't think people factor that in where you're like you put so much like stress and work on your human body that it's bound to throw your chemicals off.
Oh, of course.
Especially with that insane amount of work at one time. Also,
I was also impressed, real quick, I was also impressed at what a time to be in the sport, because we're at dinner, and I could set my phone up to because I had a couple other friends from DeLand that were running this race.
Yeah.
And I could go through and tag them and Jetson, and it would text me updates on where he was on the course, and then I could see him on a map, and then I could live stream the whole thing in HD or 4K on my goddamn TV. I was like, this is... I know there's a lot bad going on right now, and everybody does, right? But there are some really cool things that I get to participate in his sport. Like, would you have ever thought, when Andrea told me we could watch it, I was like, we can watch it?
Yeah.
I was like, I want to watch that.
The internet opens up
it's
everything.
amazing. What a time, man.
So, Jetson, what's the next goal? Does this make you eligible for a bigger Ironman, or is there going to be...
You're an Ironman.
More to
Tom
come?
Van, you're an Iron... I like that guy. I want that job. How do I get that job, Jetson, of being the guy that goes, Samantha Hart, crossing the line, you're an Ironman. Travis Butler.
That's Bob Babbitt. He's been doing it since old Tom's age. Tom Butler's age.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He's been in it for a whole
So that guy's like an Ironman legend. Well, he's good at it. He's really good at it. The whole thing was super fun, man. What is... I missed my spot by 3 minutes, so that was kind of one of those depression waves that I guess when that hits you. So I'm going to sign up for California at the end of this year. I'm hooked on the full distance. It's such a great distance. Especially as I think you guys call it. I used to be a chungus, myself, a big dude. And so I don't think I'd ever, I don't think I'd
hold on.
Never a chungus.
By chungus, he means normal, skinny human being.
Jetson was he was a little less than the fattest Tom Van. That's what he calls chungus, because right now he is 0% body fat Ironman athlete.
This, I guess. Yeah, right.
So
that is an insult to chunguses around the world.
You don't know chungus.
Yeah. Chungus Glorioso is pushing 400.
Okay. So half chungus.
So
half chungus is 226.
Chung guy. Yeah.
But also, isn't it unfair that they should put an asterisk next to this, because you were running it in 100 plus degree weather, and that because
I felt the same way when the U.S. men's national team played that one game in the snow where it was like blizzard conditions. I'm like, you got to put a star next to it because it meant more.
Because if it was 75 outside, I feel like you would have made up that 3 minutes.
I think he would. Yeah, thank you. I think he would have had the 3.
Yeah. So it's a crazy rate. It was the biggest DNF, which stands for did not finish rate Ironman's ever had, at 27%. So 2,700 people started, and roughly around 1,500 people finished.
Wow.
Wow, dude.
So yeah, and the guy there was a guy, he was racing for his son. His son passed away, took his life as a soldier, and he finished at the that 17:30 mark or something like that. Last guy to cross the finish line.
Wow, man, that's awesome,
and he was out there, like, to think about the pros out there for 8 hours, and then guys in the middle class like me running 9 to 11, and then everyone else It's from those first guys to those last guys. If you're out there for 17 hours, I think that's way harder. And those are the guys that I really, and women that I really give my hats off to on the sport. Whether it's my first one or their first one or whatever, to be out on a course for 17 hours, pounding pavement in 100-degree heat is wild.
It's insane.
And I think that's what's so great about that sport, the community that brings it to.
It's a gigantic mental and physical test.
Yeah. Most people can't even stay awake 17 hours.
I mean, how do you expect somebody to do that in 17 hours when they can't even stand in line at Wawa?
Yeah.
For 25 seconds, you can't stand in line. You get all pissed off. No way. We're doomed.
All right, Jetson. Well, congratulations, man. We're all proud of you for doing it.
Great job, man.
And we'll be following you on the next one. It's an awesome feat, and you should be proud of yourself.
Thanks, guys. Always great chatting with you.
All right, buddy. We love you, man. Tell Mary we said hey.
Will do. Love you all.
See
ya,
man.
dude.
Be good.
That's
awesome.
Ever since he got into this, he's been hardcore.
He dedicates himself to it,
and it's nuts, man.
And he seems like you hear him laughing through that. He's such a fun, he's the type of guy I want on when and if we ever do another cruise. He's the guy you want.
Well,
does he party?
He does.
Oh, he parties.
He parties.
Yeah.
But he's also
Let's
dedicated.
party with Jetson.
He's dedicated his life to the sport.
But he
can run around the goddamn ship.
No,
dude,
why good?
There's a track.
When he meets us, out in Colorado, when we go out there,
he still trains the whole time.
He brings his training bike, puts
everything.
it together in the basement, and then every morning,
I'm gonna do 70 miles.
I can do a drink-a-thon. I'm not doing it.
And then he'll just go. He's like, I'm gonna run to Aspen and back. We're like, all right,
we'll pass him. I'll be going to a brewery, and there he is on his bike.
Like they never, these type of people, they never stop training. They can't. If you want to continue to compete at a high level, you have to be on this training regimen every single day of the week.
Remember what we were
crazy.
doing? He was training for this when
like,
we
why?
were there. So downstairs, he had his cycle trainer. He had a cycle trainer set up in front of a TV. And we were there in Colorado, and we were going to do stuff. Hey, what are you doing? He's like, I'm about to train. I'm about to ride this bike for about the next 14 hours or whatever. Remember, he got on there. And then his girlfriend has got all of his snacks and nutrition because he's training for this, and they're doing I guess a mock version of it. And he just gets
50
on there.
50 miles, and then you run this, and then you have to keep this pace, or you'll never be able to
keep
even
the cadence
do it.
at this, and it's nuts.
It's always about improving too. He always wants to beat his previous time.
Correct.
And then getting your nutrition exactly right, because too much or too little, you'll fuck it up. It's crazy. And then they narrowed it down to an exact science now. So it's like they have to eat these specially made for him protein bars with a X amount of sugar, because it literally they make these bars for you to eat that are only for you because based on your metabolism and how much
the nutrition that you need.
Crazy.
And it is nuts.
Let's do some voicemail email.
All right, little mail on mail action.
Yeah.
Let's do her.
Hey guys, thanks for calling 1-800-HOT-DICK, the place to find real action with real men. To make it even better, we've got new low prices. So low, we're practically giving it away free.
If you are a man seeking a woman, press 1. If you are a woman seeking a man, press 2. If you are a man seeking a man, press 3.
Mail on mail.
Mail on Mail brought to you by our hookups page. We've got
long gay intro.
dozens of hookups, which are basically discounts for you guys for being Tom and Dan listeners. And all you have to do is go to tomanddan.com, click on the hookups page, and you'll see them all there. Just browse through them, because there's hookups for everything.
Yeah, we're adding some new ones. Hopefully, very, very soon. Let's start with email today.
Okay. Alpha Party Mom. Greetings, Tom, Dan, Sam, and Trav. On this week's ACT, you mentioned the alpha fun mom who likes to party, jump off rope swings and bridges, etc. You interviewed her on Weird Job Wednesday, Heart Surgery Michelle. Tom was partially correct. Former NCAA Division I athlete and married to an alpha party jump off bridge dude. It gets dangerous. Love you, Tom. Regards, Dan, Sam, and Trav. Check out Chase's in New Smyrna Beach. Some stoner dude, Travis's teenage clone. He waits tables there. So you have a clone apparently, and
or you're just
Chase's
waiting
in
tables
New
at
Smyrna
Chase's
Beach.
on the beach.
No, don't talk about it.
So they're basically confirming that an alpha woman is usually attracted to alpha male.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that either.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess it's all subjective.
Yeah, it could be anything.
Because sometimes you want the opposite, and then two alphas butt heads. So you want some diversity there.
That does seem. Yeah, I don't think that. I don't know.
It's probably all over the place. But
I mean, this kind of ties into it, but it doesn't. But remember the old when people say when you're getting two dogs, don't get two girl dogs. They're fight. Don't get two boy dogs. Is that true?
I don't.
Is that where we kind of got the idea of the alpha thing? It's like, because it was always, I remember my dad's like, Dan Lee, we can't get on the girl dog, she'll fight Clancy.
Well, that can be the case if they don't spay or neuter the animal.
You got to cut their balls off. Then they all
when they
become
go in
the
a
same.
heat, they start competing.
And what do you do with a girl dog when you
spay them?
Spayed it.
You scrape it clean.
No, you didn't need to say that.
It's basically tie their tubes.
Why do they call it spayed?
spade?
Why don't we say that our women are going to get spayed? Why? Where does that come from? Spade.
I don't have no idea.
It just doesn't make any sense to me. Tie your tubes, okay. Disgusting, but it makes sense at least. And I'm always envisioning them pulling your tubes out of your vagina and tying them up and then poking them back in. Because I'm a baby. I'm a baby.
Yeah. It used to be a more popular thing, I feel like, in the 80s and 90s for women to tie their tubes.
Yeah, there were a lot of T words that were used in the 80s and 90s. Tied tubes, test tube babies were big in the 80s and 90s. I don't even know what a test tube baby is.
It was like we were... More, like as a society,
we were obsessed with it.
We were like, the women, let's let them go and get major surgery. And
spay is derived from the Anglo-Norman word to cut with a sword.
Don't do that to a dog. Use a scalpel.
I don't even know what they do.
Me neither. Apparently they get in there with a sword and they're whacking
Apparently
around.
Scrape it out, according to
scrape it out with a sword. Sword scraping. Get some sword scrapings on it.
Play a voice back.
All right, we'll try this guy.
What's up, T&D? Shard and Randy here. So we all know when you shave your face after having a beard for a long time, that is the full frog freak out. Mm-hmm. I want to know if you guys have ever thought about the equivalent with your downstairs parts, because let's just say mistakes were made this morning, and instead of a full frog freak out, I would like to nominate full bowl, because my downstairs looks like 80s actor Richard Moll in Night Court. It's an unfortunate situation. So T&D universe going full bowl is when you trim it down for the first time.
Well, luckily we have an expert of going full bull on the show. It's not Sam or Butler or even myself. Tom, you want to handle this one? Because you're the only person I know that's almost 40 who bicks their pubes down like a baby.
I do it sometimes. Why not? I want to leave a little hair.
But you want to look as if you're a man.
Do you think it makes your dick look bigger? Is that why you do it?
No.
I mean, I'm not saying have it bushy, but I enjoy it
trim short. But if you
high
shave
and
it
tight, you got to go high and tight.
If you shave it, where do you stop? I mean, like I got hairy thighs. It's like,
you got to go down to it looks
like you're wearing reverse shorts.
Yeah, right.
There is, as I get older, I am getting more hair on my body. I think
Good
it's just
for
an
you,
age
buddy. Things are changing. Next thing you know, that voice is gonna drop down.
So as I do. And then as I get less fat, I have less of a belly. It used to be just like my belly. I'd stop at where my belly hangs over, and that was the difference between my belly and where my pap is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But now as that's shrinking down, I have started like shaving up, and then I get into my belly. And then I'm like, well, should I shave my whole belly?
No, just do a Dracula. Just do a Dracula widow's peak.
Just get your whole body waxed.
And then it looks like someone shot me with a flamethrower.
Where's
that? They burned the hair off only
it's
on
like
the top of my dick.
You spilled the acid, it ripped your shorts off.
And so, anyway, it's just at this point, I'm not doing it to look any way for anybody. Like no one's seeing it really besides me.
If I can get my balls,
is it cooler?
It is cooler. If I can get my balls tight, like in the morning, you know how they're tight in the morning.
Yeah.
that I can use my buzzer and I can go over them quickly before they unfurl. Because they will, they'll relax.
Drop, yeah.
They will. They'll drop. They'll relax and they'll get warm, or whatever, and they'll just start to come down. And then I gotta buzz them fast while they're tight, like it's like shaving a golf ball. And then I shave it, and I'm shaving it. I shave. Then start to drop. And they're gonna get the shaft. You gotta, because it's growing up the shaft.
You've been talking about that for a while.
Yeah.
It's probably gotten worse over the past 10 years.
It hasn't
no?
gotten worse because I stayed on top of it. It's like a piece of property that you buy.
You got to maintain it.
Yeah, even if it's unincorporated, it's got nothing on it. But there's a lot of underbrush. You have to get a bush hog occasionally and go in there and kind of mow it down and just do a little bit of, maintenance, preventative maintenance on there. But yeah, I'm always checking the shaft. Like right now, it's a little hairy. I can show you guys.
Next email.
Hello, Tom and Dan and company. I'm listening to the story of Tom not being able to leave the barbershop. It made me think of my wife and her family.
What, when he was talking,
Yes.
talking, and he already broke the comb, and that when he does something that's uncomfortable, he'll stay longer because he thinks the stories are making up for the mistake.
Yeah, they'll forget about the mistake
and
if
he's
they have
wrong.
to sit through a
Here,
story.
let me pay you in wittiness.
They cannot just say bye and leave. When it is time to leave when visiting, we will load up the car, say bye, then make our way to the door, talk, say bye again, then make our way to the car, talk, then say bye again, before finally leaving 30 minutes after the first goodbye.
I get in my car, drive away.
We were on a FaceTime with her family on Christmas, and then people started saying bye, so we said our goodbyes, and I hung up. My wife got mad and rejoined the call and told everyone, sorry, Connor hung up. The conversation lasted another 10 to 15 minutes. My brother-in-law texts me calling me a hero. No heroes blowjobs were given that day.
Yeah. I tend to do
if
this.
You say bye, it's done, right?
Yeah.
I'm a lingerer. Also, now if the other person wants to leave, I get the message. Like I get.
I'm a gambler.
Do you?
I've
seen it happen here.
Yeah, but I haven't. If they start backing out of the door,
they're like opening the door, and you're still talking to them.
You and I do it sometimes when you're here. And we'll do like bye. Bye. And then I'm like, God damn it, what are we doing? Just get out of here.
Right.
Do you think it's some sort of thing that happened because of the show? Because we're constantly thinking of things to talk about, and so it's like, oh, I thought of another thing.
Yeah,
like,
keep it going.
It's we're always keeping it going, so then that's bled over to everything in my life.
I have to force myself not to do it, which the exact opposite of that is just being quiet, which is why when I'm out, people will be like, wow, you don't talk a lot. You do it too. Like, we'll be out and we'll be quiet. And people will be like, well, Mr. Talk over here is very quiet. I was like, yeah, because I fucking talked all day.
Yeah.
But
I want to hear how stupid you are.
Keep
talking.
Also, be careful what you ask for, because once you get me talking, I fucking can't shut up.
Me too.
Then you can't ever leave.
And I'm making inappropriate jokes, and I'm yelling titties at the TV screen.
I could literally tell you stories for 2 hours straight. Just keep on talking, and I'll go from one thing to another.
It's called This Show. That's what it is. 2 hours straight.
And my wife would yell at me. She's like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You've told this all. And they're like, they like it. And I look at their eyes. I don't have no idea.
I hate it when I'm driving home. I look at Andrea, and I'm a little buzzed, and I'm like, was I all right? And she's like, wow. I get one of those. So was I okay? You were a little loud. I get a lot of that. You were a little loud. You might want to keep it down a little bit. Like when you're telling stories, you're very animated, very screamy. You're very screamy.
That's another thing too. When I'm in the car, I cannot talk at a reasonable level on my Bluetooth. I scream. Yeah. I wonder if that's an old man thing.
Yeah, it is.
Because Chris will be like, why are you screaming? I'm like, I can't tell. Like, I need to have the earpiece in my ear.
In my ears, like,
so I can tell.
You have a call from Andrea. Did it? Hello! That's how I do it.
I can't tell how they're receiving it.
Just talk normal, and if they're saying they can barely hear you, then speak a little louder.
I need to scream.
What did you say yesterday? You're like, I don't know why I don't listen to you, Sam.
But when I talk normally, it's like I'm talking too low.
It's probably the headphones, I think, have messed us up too, because we wear these.
And I think just being a broadcaster, you want to project your voice, so you project too loudly in just normal conversations.
Yeah, because we're not talking normally in here. So anyway, it's all.
I can't talk normally anymore. I go to get food. I was like, hey, what's up? How you doing? I like to order some food. Okay, be right back.
Next email.
Okay. Poop shower.
Oh, God.
I got up early Saturday morning and started my chores, which this week included mowing and trimming the yard,
Wait.
cutting back the...
Is this a Shark Week story possibility that...
Well, it's a shower poop, so
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Cutting back the crepe myrtles and fixing the fan in our bedroom. Well, I step into the shower to clean up and feel the urge to rip some ass. One of the few joys I have in life is peeling back my ass cheeks and cranking a stink as the water rolls down my ass.
Really?
This
That's one of your favorite things? I'll debate that. I think you're lying.
This did not work out well. Green swamp shit flew out of my ass and hit the shower floor like something throwing a mud bomb.
People love to be, they're like,
overly-
I'm going to write
yeah.
a super
Descriptive,
expressive Reader's Digest version of me shitting in the shower.
The lettuce and liter of grape Fanta came out like seaweed.
You didn't eat that.
Initially, I was grossed out, but I quickly figured, fuck it, and might as well finish the job. Luckily, we have a 4-foot extension hose on our shower head. Kind of embarrassing, not quite Shark Week material. That reminds me, though, does anyone remember Shasta Cola?
I remember Shasta, yeah.
So hold on.
I didn't call it Shasta.
You
I called it
accidentally
Shasta.
pooped in the shower, and then you're like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna
continue
continue
push.
I mean, at that
Spray
point, do you get
diarrhea?
out of the shower and sit on the toilet?
No, you shit in the shower if you're shitting.
If you're already going to do that,
Yeah,
I mean...
because you're going to track, like, you're going to have to... Yeah,
you're going to sprinkle swamp
God.
water on your bathroom floor.
Yeah.
It just these are the bank tellers that we deal with. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is like,
Well, these are
the
anybody.
random humans that you have contact with.
This is why I don't do potlucks.
It could be anybody. Well, they're not shitting in the casserole.
I don't know what they're doing.
I hope they're not. But that's the thing that always
Gross
drives
people.
me crazy is that people think just because you have diarrhea in the shower that when you're going to prepare a casserole for a potluck,
No.
you're like, you know what I got to do here? I know I shit in the shower. I know I have IBS, but you know what? Just to make people like Samantha, who are paranoid of people like me, people with IBS, I'm gonna shit in this casserole just to prove her right.
No, it's more
Who would
like
say that?
it's more
I gotta
like
shit in the
went
kitchen
to-
and I gotta
it's
shit in
more
the
like when
crock pot.
you work in an office with 300 people and you have to go into the women's restroom and you see how they treat
God.
the restroom and you see them not wash their hands and shit like that. It's like, you know what? I'll skip all this.
I got
potlucks.
you. I got you.
Okay.
You're eating Cheetos while you're taking a shit? No, thank you.
We bow out.
You know,
we bow out.
you know, I do draw the line at eating. I will have a cup of coffee on the toilet, and
Cheetos.
I even
Crunchy
feel
Cheetos.
I even
Gross.
feel gross about having
So you
coffee
gotta
on the
lick
toilet.
your fingers or you're gonna have Cheeto dust while you wipe your ass? Disgusting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, don't eat while you're
No.
pooping. I
You're
mean,
a
come
fucking
on.
animal.
I caught Maisie doing it one day.
Yeah, kids.
Oh.
I
You
know,
gotta
kids,
stop
I know.
her
She'll be
now.
sitting there, and then what does she have in her hand? A bag of pretzels, little bag
You
of
gotta
pretzels.
stop it.
Oh, you can't do that, kid. Plus, little kids' shits don't smell. Maisie's do not
Really?
smell, but they're 100 feet long. They're the biggest shits you'd ever, but they don't smell like anything. Now, Andrea, on the other hand,
their body is functioning properly.
properly.
So
it's like a new car.
Yeah, but kid farts smell terrible.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Let's do
Why
one.
are you sniffing kids' farts?
What the
You
fuck?
fucking creep, you're
down.
fired.
I got a niece and a nephew. They stink.
Fart in my face. I'm weird.
Play one more voicemail.
All right.
Okay, so I'm wondering, does anybody else have any weird things that they know, a sequence of events that takes place with their wives? It's weird, but they know they're gonna get laid, or they think they might get laid. Like, if my wife just goes into the bathroom and takes a piss, and just I hear her just wipe and come back, she's not gonna, but if she wipes and pulls out the wet wipes and gets to start thinking, ooh, she's cleaning it up. I know something about to happen.
What the
This guy is the vibe. First of all, I nominate this man Animal of the Day.
Yeah.
Because this just came in. This is fresh. This is literally seconds old.
And I want all the single people to hear this because this is what you got to look forward to
Yeah.
when you get married.
First of all, never
Oh,
say.
she's busting out the wet
Yeah,
wipes.
here you
I
wipe-
guess I'm
wiping.
back.
That's not even the part that got me. The part that got me
Gross.
was like, my wife just goes in there to take a piss. And I'm like, don't say that, man. Can you just say she went pee or something? Why you got to go say she took a piss? That's weird. And I don't
I
like...
say I gotta take a piss.
Stop! And I don't like thinking about girls wiping. For whatever reason, I don't like it.
God, we can't do anything.
No, but maybe one time I was down there gnawing on some toilet paper.
Come on.
I'm just saying.
D-Rock gets a joke about that.
Yeah, I'm not worse
No,
than them. Just you
worse
gotta,
than D-Rock.
You gotta check that stuff, man. You gotta check it for it's like those little pieces of paper that come out of that 3-hole punch.
Cooper's Mark, apple bourbon.
Don't say that after that.
Great. You got Cooper's Mark, apple
He's wasted on his apple pie drink.
I have noticed.
Butler's response is brought to you by.
If you're if you're looking at the pure science behind it, because I have tracked this in my mind before, because I have no idea if this is true, but I imagine that like some evolutionary thing that women have where they are more interested in sex right around the time they're menstruating or dropping their egg or whatever, so that they can reproduce. Like right before their period, or I don't even know how it happens. So somewhere around that thing.
Yeah. It's either like, before or after the period they get super horny.
Right before.
But I think it's right before it gets gross. If I remember correctly, it's right before she drops it. You gotta fuck
ovulating.
It. Yeah.
It's like they get horny while they ovulate.
Yeah.
But you run the risk of you're poking, you're like, uh-oh, this feels warmer than it's drying while I'm in there. My God, they're gonna have to chisel me out of here.
So there is some sort of science
I'm glad
that you
Sam's
can
as sick as I. You know what? Lately, I've been making some sick ass shit, and Sam will be like, yeah, and me and Sam are like, yeah, we're right here, motherfucker.
Anyway, so I have noticed that there's some sort of like, is this something?
Yeah, I don't know what it is now because my wife's on birth control, and then she says that it changes it, and then she'll say like, "Oh, I'm getting cramping." I'm like, "Well, is it starting?" And then she'll be like, "Oh no, it was just like spotting, or I just farted, or something like that." I'm like, "Don't say that."
Yeah.
And we're on just about an every other. I figured it out. We could have put this on the list for dump them out, but I don't even know if we're going to do that today. But I figured it out that I think that my libido being as high as it is has like subconsciously trained my wife to be an every other day sex partner for me.
Really?
Yeah.
God damn.
It's every other day.
That's I think
it's a day on, day off, day on, day,
and it just rolls. A resting day,
and it just rolls. It's rolling. It's like training for an Ironman.
That's impressive.
Now sometimes it's just mutual masturbation or mouth stuff, but it is still an every other day scenario.
Oh, what do you mean mutual masturbation?
You know, like we're laying sex. She's laying next to me, and I'm handing it, and she's handing it.
What?
That's weird.
Why is that weird?
I don't know. I feel like for that's more work than even other
less cleanup.
Also, I don't know if I could. Just with a hand anymore. I'm desensitized.
You can't get it done with the hand.
No, he's got
maybe with a
tonal.
new girl on it. Not with
I think we gotta.
That took a fuck.
Yeah.
It's like. My work sandals are loose on top. It's a hard run in those.
I'm writing this down for the awards.
You should write this down as the worst.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
terrible.
I put my feet in. I can't.
Anyway, let's take a break.
Need some fresh sandals.
He got some this week. He did get new sandals.
Yeah, a listener sent
you
him
get some strange out there.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Some listener sent him 2 pairs of reef sandals, one in a size that fits, one in a size that does not fit. So this listener spent plus shipping over $150 for, I'm guessing, a prank of some sort. Or
I was trying to help him out.
I was wearing
He's a nice
those
guy.
yesterday, and I was like, "Oh, these are cushy."
Too soft.
Too cushy.
He didn't put his feet in there. He's like, I don't know about these. Too squish. Too squish.
No, they're fine. I appreciate that. Whoever sent them.
The name of the band is Gold Record. The name of the song is Defend Your Love. It starts with these crazy ass horns, and then it goes into this crazy disco kind of a dance beat. And then just pay attention to the bass line, because it will thump and it will walk, and you will love it. We'll be right back with more on Mediocre Time.
Your devil is real. My cardinal vow ain't never gonna change you, rebel.
There you go. That is the Rare Occasions off their big Whoop album. That song is called Origami. Do you want to do it, buddy?
Let's do it.
Let's jump into it right now. Where's my button? It is. Nope, that's the wrong one. Nope, there it is.
Ross's piece of shit news.
Ross's news brought to you by Johnny's Other Side. You want to go to Johnny's filling station, best burger in town. Johnny's other side, they just
there Monday.
He texted me yesterday, out of the blue, with a picture from the one of the Rock Pink bowling tournaments where he and I were hugging each other, and he's like, "I remember this day like the back of my hand." That's all it
What
said.
does that mean?
I think it meant that we were both off in the jazz, that we were both a little drunk. But yeah, go get yourself a tasty burg.
How you doing, Ross?
Yeah, that just came up in like Facebook memories, Dan. There's a pic of you and me and Seth Petrozelli, and you guys had lost a bet or something, and you had to wear dumb golf outfits.
Yeah, I was like dressed like it was some dumb bit that Russ was doing, and I was dressed like the wrestler man, Dale Torberg bought me a loudmouth golf
That's what
suit.
it was.
Yeah, a loudmouth golf suit that I still have. And he's like, you have to wear this, because you lost the bet, and you'll be humiliated. It's actually a decent suit. So
yeah.
I think they
I
failed.
bowled with you and Andrea that day, and you guys had a fantastic fucking time.
Yeah, it was absolutely totally fine, but I think it was meant to fuck with me. But like any prank that people pulled on me at that place, it never fucked with me. They really only fucked with me when they finally fucked with me at the end, which was not a prank.
All day, people just kept coming up to you and saying, "Hey, great suit. That's a cool suit. Nice suit, man."
Yeah, I wore that
cool.
suit to Fair Villa for their last
F Awards.
in-person F Awards,
Yeah.
and everybody's like, "That's a great suit." So again, they're not so good at trying to fuck with me unless they're trying to get me to quit my job and start a company that I didn't want to start quite this soon.
I saw it come up on Facebook, but the same event, but Facebook didn't have the picture. I think I must have just texted it to you, Dan. I got a picture with Russ Rollins in a Snoot shirt.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. You were sniping. You were sniping. I'll never forget that. Thank you for your service.
How's Tots with Ross?
Tots with Ross is good. Fresh Tots with
Fresh.
Sean Finnerty, international comedy star and TV host. Sean Finnerty sits down and makes fun of me for all my recurring bits, and it's pretty good.
Man, he's such a good dude. And you know what's a weird piece of Ross and Tom and Dan history is that Sean Finnerty and Chris Turner, the rapper comedian from LA, British.
Yeah.
Both of those guys have been prominently featured on all of our shows, and we know them. And both those guys have been the first Irish comedian to be on The Tonight Show live and the first British comedian to be on the Stephen Colbert Show live.
Really?
Isn't that weird?
That is
Yeah,
weird.
Chris Turner did it like 2 weeks ago. He was on Colbert, and it was just like very, very, he was like, I'm the first British comedian to ever be featured on the Colbert Report or whatever. And I'm like, wow, that's very interesting.
Also, you would think there would be like another
Yeah.
British comedian before him, but I guess that's
Very
not that
odd.
many. Anyway, all right, Ross, what do you want to start with first?
Maybe there were Welsh comedians all previous to that. I did a shift at the fucking fireworks tent yesterday. You guys want to talk about that for a second?
Yeah, I saw that. And you know what? I meant to write the comment to you. You sharing the box names, but not with the art. Just written in like black and white on tan cardboard is
From the
awesome.
warehouse.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, don't spoil any of them, Dan, because we're gonna finish with my top 5 fireworks of the year.
Get him.
I was talking to Craig on Wednesday.
That's a
I went
big
by,
warehouse, by the way.
And Craig's like, oh yeah, for the couple days before 4th of July and 4th of July, I'm gonna have 50 employees working. I'm 50. I was like, it's more than Publix. Like, I'm serious. Like, I think if you went over there right now, Publix doesn't have 50 employees working like as like
You probably
at the
don't.
time.
And he pays better. He
No.
pays better.
I know, but he's selling so many fireworks. It's fucking insane.
Well, he sold $1,500 worth of Corey Bryant.
Yeah.
I saw that. I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
He put himself
I need
in
to get in the dip game. God damn.
He's got the best shit. So he's like, he literally is like, I can't employ enough people to do. Like, I can't. They're coming with pallets that can't even come fast enough.
The best
Listen,
one.
let me tell you about my morning yesterday, right? I show up at the warehouse. We're waiting for the truck to show up. So we like just chilling, slap together a few pallets of fireworks for fucking Eustis, couple for Longwood, get those on the truck, right? The other truck shows up. It's a giant transfer truck. It's longer than a regular truck, dude. Like, so the deal is when they back this truck up, the guy breaks the seal. You have 2 hours to unload it, or he gets to like start charging you $1 million a minute or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, Craig has a stream of worker ants that just fucking in and out of this truck, bring fireworks, load pallets, sort them, and then get them all into the warehouse. And then that truck, I think we did it in like under an hour-ish yesterday. That truck pulls out. You start breaking those fireworks down into pallets for Longwood and Eustis, whatever they're low on. And all that goes out the fucking door. A bunch of people headed out for the tents. And then this guy called Bottle Rocket Guy showed up and bought like 1 million bottle rockets. Another truck showed up while like Craig and then we're taking a break. And I was like, hey, are you guys expecting a truck? And Craig goes, oh, fuck yeah. There was a whole nother shipment of like mortars and shit he'd forgotten about that we unload and start getting ready for pallets and stuff. And then like the next half of the day is taking that to the tents and putting it on the shelves. And you can't keep it on the shelf.
No.
The shelves are constantly emptying, and like me and a couple other people and a bunch of kids are just breaking down boxes and throwing gunpowder on shelves all goddamn day long. And that was on a slow day.
Yeah.
They were like, it's so slow today. What's going on? I'm like, man, I can't keep Michelangelo on the fucking shelf.
No, I got one of those. I got a Michelangelo.
Don't talk about it.
That's not even on the top 5, but that's a good fucking bopper. That's a good one.
Yeah, that one goes.
He told me that there are other, because of the fireworks shortage, there are other tents that set up their tent and their storage container or whatever, but they now don't have fireworks to open. So there's random tents around town with nothing.
Oh.
And then, like,
Why even set up the tent?
Well, they're waiting on their shipment.
And I guess it's not going to come. And Craig's like, they want to buy from me because Craig bought so much. Anyway,
he gets a lot of people trying to get at him. But it's cool that you're out there doing that, man.
Okay, and listen, the BDM special is legit. The first one I dealt with, I didn't know, and I was just telling them to pick regular shit, and it turned the BDM special. You get a couple regular things off the shelf, and then they legitimately have under-counter items for you. They have shit behind the shelf for the BDMs. Don't miss that. I didn't get to see the one yesterday. I was helping a BDM. He was gonna go get a special shit, and then there is like, I think, extra special shit for like professionals.
Yes.
There's like this one called the Kiss of Death or something like that comes in its own palette.
Yeah.
And you like have to deal with Craig personally. It's fucking crazy. All right, my 2 favorite people yesterday, a guy who came to me with he needed help finding some Roman candles, and he's like, when we were kids, we used to shoot these at each other. Can you still shoot at each other?
I think I was asking you, but you're like, yeah, do whatever you want.
I'm a dad. Sure.
Well, my recommendation was like, I can't tell you that you can do that, sir, but like, why don't you buy one and try it out? And he was like, yeah, great idea. So did move the Roman candles yesterday. And then this guy came to me. He's like, hey, do you guys have those adult poppers? And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, sir.
Yeah. It's like, for your butt. Your butt.
I want to make my butt bigger. I want to relax my pores.
I guess a regular firecracker would do that too. Anyway.
It turns out they do have adult poppers. You know, those little, like, we always just call them bang pops when I was a kid, like little twist of paper with like graphite or whatever in it. You throw it at the ground and it snaps.
Yeah.
They have a giant box of big ones. And when I found them for the guy was like, oh, sweet. When you throw these at somebody, they really leave them a welt.
Hold on. He's got giant snap pops?
They're like
it's like a tea bag filled with gunpowder.
It's the size of a cornhole bag. And you throw it, and it just explodes. It's like a grenade.
Blow your wallet out.
Adult poppers. Definitely add adult poppers to your fucking mix this 4th of July.
You should get some of those. All right, Ross, what do you got, man?
Top 5 favorite fireworks. I don't know that this is a fact, but it seems to me in my 12 hours experience that there's a trend this year of maybe there weren't enough graphic designers around. So it seems like they came up with a name and then maybe slapped whatever the first thing Chinese Google coughed up for the picture.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I think it's called Red Menace. It's Red something, Red Menace, and it's clearly got a picture of the Marvel Comics Red Hulk on it.
Yeah. They do not care about copyrights in China. I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah, do they still have? And they're notorious for being out of touch. They used to have, and up until like maybe even last year, they had like the Osama, your mama, and it had a picture of like Osama bin Laden on it. And I was like, well, he's been dead for like 10 years now, or like.
Oh yeah, they got the very patriotic.
Yeah, but it's like they've got them, but it's like they're dated. Like there's still a little Osama bin Laden and Saddam Hussein, and I'm like, you should update your evil dictators and terrorism, type, figureheads.
Yeah.
There's so much shit with America in the name. It's hard to start because I'm like, what the fuck did I need? America's prayer? Did I need America's fountains? Did I need America's championship? Like, there's so many American ones. It's crazy. I think there's a couple Confederates too. Number 2, there's this one called Street Fighter, and the picture on the Street Fighter is pretty clearly like some Brazilian kids in soccer shirts kicking the shit out of each other in a mud pit in a favela in Brazil.
Oh, just like fighting to the death. Man.
Like, this is our take on Street Fighter.
It's a much darker movie when we did it.
Yeah, they're
Ours
actually
is, extreme poverty, not cartoon characters, and not Baraka and Guile and Ryu. Yeah.
Yeah. Less I duking, more I puking. From malnutrition.
I'm puking.
All right. This one, Dan, like you said, this one's good in the warehouse, in the box. I think this is a bottle rocket, but in the box, all the boxes, the fireworks are made in China, right? All the boxes say made in China. This firework is called Corona, and the box says Corona, made in China.
Yes, I saw the Corona one.
Oh, no.
I was letting Max pick out one. He ran over to me with rockets, and there were Corona rockets. And I'm like, Corona rockets? And then I was laughing. I was looking around to find Craig.
I mean, what a better way to get everybody sick than to put the variant in the fireworks that scatters over the city, right?
I just
That's
think
how you do it.
They put whatever words are like the top Google search.
Yeah.
Like,
whatever's trending.
They're like Corona, Epstein, whatever the fuck. Like, we print anything.
You're gonna love the Cosby. It gets at it real fast. It's blind.
Corona does have it's like a term for a light effect too. I imagine it's like a halo kind of firework is probably what's happening when it goes off.
Right.
Yeah. It's just
okay.
They had to someone in China while they were printing that and be like, "Hey, you sure?" Like they don't give a fuck.
Nah,
They're like, "It's hot in here."
Yeah, just print it.
All right, go ahead.
This one, just for you guys, I think this one was a Tom and Dan reference. It's called Bite Your Tushy. And like the phrase is bite my tushy. I think bite your tushy is eat your butt translated into Chinese and then back.
That's very good.
All right.
It's also what like an Italian guy says if you say bite my tushy, he goes, bite your tushy. Like it's like that.
I like them just searching things that we search for, and then they find some. They love eat your butt stickers. I see them on trucks.
Yeah.
It's all over the United States. And then
This is eat the ass.
Yeah, but they try to like clean it up a little bit. Go ahead, Ross.
All right, last one. This one is kind of a thinker. Like you really have. I looked at this one a couple times before I noticed it. It's called Sweet Dreams. Okay. And there's a guy laying in bed. And like, when you just look at it, it's a guy laying in a bed and he's got like a dream cloud coming off of his head. And I thought it was a weed thing. The first couple times I looked at it, I was like, okay, this guy got all puffed out and he's like dreaming. But like the dream cloud has all these like half naked women in it, like ladies in bikinis all laying down and stuff. And when you look close at the dude, it's Tiger fucking Woods. And like in case you're a little bit, I know what you're saying, like Ross. Sure, it looks like Tiger Woods, but like the bedposts are golf clubs, just so there can be no fucking mistake. Okay, it's Tiger Woods dreaming of like ladies in bikinis.
Your audio got tiny. It sounds like your microphone's been covered or something.
It's Tiger Woods in a golf club bed dreaming of ladies.
Again, I don't think they care, but also they're like 6 years behind. Like these, they probably manufacture these or come up with the idea, and it's like I said, you could still buy the same tank that I bought when I was 8 years old. Literally the same exact design. It's the green tank with the nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed.
They've been printing it for 35 years and maybe even before that. And they were like, why change it? Let's just keep on printing. Although it would be so easy just to change a color or like one click of a mouse and the printing the paper or whatever, but they don't do it. It for whatever.
You guys officially hit Tom with talking about toys of yesteryear on the pop-up checklist?
Yeah. Ross, your microphone is real bad.
Something happened with your mic. It's like a cord came out or something.
Check 1, check 2.
Whoa, now you're big.
Yeah.
Worse. Unplug it or plug it back in or something. Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Okay. No worries.
BRB.
So the fireworks market is so different than any other product. It's bizarre. Like I was telling Craig, you don't buy them online, which is crazy in 2021, right? Like they do not sell.
Well, you can't ship them, right? Or can you?
Well, no, but there are like, you would think that their prices and stuff would be online or like you could go, but that's not how the industry's run, right? So like they don't put any of that stuff and it's never going that way, apparently. Like some people do like have some fireworks prices online, but it's always done the way it's done. It's like they set up the tents, they sell them, and that's the way. And all the products that they make, they never change either, except for the packaging.
They usually just rebrand them, and then the only thing they'll ever do is add to, right?
Yeah.
Like make them bigger, make them change the colors.
Print different cake designs dependent on what the
put them in different orders.
Whatever's hot. Yeah.
Like make it go pink first, and then make the boom, and then make the thing.
Like the Tiger Woods one, but it's always dated a little bit too, which is odd as well because you were like. It should be easy enough to produce like stuff that's relevant to this year, but
we don't know
they
how
don't do
long
it.
They've been holding on to the packaging. Like in some ways, I think that like the way it was explained by Craig, I think these factories work independently. So the company that's making the charges for the mortars, or the propellant to put it in the sky, that's one factory. The mortar factory is a completely different factory. The wraps for the paper is a different factory. The cardboard box is a different factory. They're all like different. So let's say the wrap for the Sweet Dreams one, that factory, let's say that factory is like they're going now. They may have printed that 6 months or a year ahead of the other factory because
years ago.
Didn't Craig say that it kind of happens in like whenever
stages,
if they have the stuff. We have the stuff. We got the inks. Let's print them.
You could also do custom fireworks, which I want to do a Tom and Dan one day. Craig said we could do it. It's just now
going to cost a lot of money and take a lot of time.
Well, we
have Ross back now too. Ross, can you hear us? Okay.
Guys, check 1, check 2.
There we go. We got you. Perfect. All right.
Next story, Ross.
All right. This is an update. You guys remember the one where the FBI was looking for gold in Pennsylvania?
Yes.
These guys found what they thought was like a lost Confederate treasure load of gold.
Yeah.
And the FBI came in and said they didn't do shit. We now got some documents. The FBI, they were worried that the state of Pennsylvania was going to step in and declare it abandoned property, which would mean that they could seize it. So the FBI secretly went to a judge, got a warrant. They did do that dig that they swore up and down that they didn't do. They dug the fuck out of that site middle of the night, just like they said they didn't do.
They lied.
And good news, they're also saying now that they didn't find anything.
All right.
Oh, man.
They are not communicating with the guy, with the professionals that they brought in that did say, yes, there seems to be a mass. Approximately 9 or 7 tons large that does have the properties of gold down there. They're not talking to those experts or like anybody else about it, but they are saying didn't find any gold. Go away.
You know what this reminds me of? And this is weird, and you guys are going to think I'm weird. You know what? I don't care. You already think I'm weird. This reminds me of the movie. I think it's who's the guy that was married to Angelina Jolie? Weird guy.
Billy Bob Thornton.
Billy Bob Thornton. And then I think Steve Buscemi. And are they brothers? And then they find an airplane where there's money inside.
It's called A Simple Plan.
Yes.
Okay.
This whole thing reminds me of like in a strange way of like the guys go out, they do the dig, they get busted, they lie about doing the dig, they say they didn't find anything, they're trying to keep the heat off them with the FBI, but they did find something and it's up in their attic and they're sweating the whole time. You know what I mean? Like those type of movies where it's like you found the drugs, you found the money, and now you're going to try and hold on to it and not get caught, or you
keep
just
it
want
for yourself.
Yeah, you just want to go to the Caribbean. Like this whole thing just feels like that same sort of thing where it's like they were trying to pull a fast one. They did find the gold. They're saying they didn't find it, and it's tucked away somewhere. Or am I wrong? Or
yeah, it does.
Do you feel that?
It's definitely suspicious. Where it's like you could have.
I'm glad you updated us because I like this story because this seems like a movie plot.
Mm-hmm. So, do you guys?
Well, let's make it a little bit more national treasure for you, Dan. They think the people who are saying that there probably was fucking gold and the FBI probably dug it up and snatched it. There was this group called the Knights of the Golden Circle, and they were like Confederate sympathizers. They robbed like Union payroll trains and stuff, and then they'd bury these caches of gold and like ammo and stuff so that the South would have these reserves to fall back on and stuff. And then these guys all got fucking dysentery and died, and a lot of this shit's still out there. They found this carving nearby of a turtle, which is apparently one of the Knights of the Golden Circle symbols that they used a lot.
Real. So they're possibly thinking that it could be these guys buried cache of gold and other stuff.
And the U.S. Mint doesn't have records from the Civil War period, so there's no real accounting of what went missing and what it could be and shit like that.
Do you guys think if you found, like, let's say a couple pounds of gold, right, that you could get rid of it without raising suspicion? Like, how would you even do it?
I would call David Lair at Goldsmith and Jewelry Shop.
Because he knows.
And I'd say, meet me in the Cuban sandwiches to go on Lee Road parking lot. We need to have a discussion.
But dude,
and I would do everything face to face. I would do nothing in digital. There would be no digital trail of it. There would be no phone records. I would type nothing.
Yeah.
It would only be like face to face or phone call interactions with people.
Do you even know what a pound of gold would be going for right now, Tom?
Well, I know it's like what was it?
Do you know what a troy pound is?
A troy pound?
I know troy pound.
Yeah. Okay.
He's
so
an MMA
gold
fighter.
is measured. Gold is more correctly measured in troy ounces, which just differs. Like, you know how much a regular ounce is from buying weed, right?
Yes.
What?
Like
how many grams?
How many grams? I have no idea. I'm not a weedman. I thought you said what a regular ounce
So there's
costs.
about 28-ish grams in a weed ounce, we'll call it from now on. And then a troy ounce for gold is about 31.1 grams. And then ounce of gold, I didn't check this morning, but it's going for like 1770 to 1780 an ounce right now. Okay.
So I mean, it's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money.
Although if you with enough of it though, I feel like if you have hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of gold, even David Layer is like, well, I don't need that much gold.
Well, I think he'd know people.
But you're right.
God, this has got to be so boring, but it really depends on what state it's in. Like, what state is this gold in, Tom? Is it like just little pebbles of gold, like you found alluvial gold washed up on a shore in Portland or something? Or is it coined? Is it minted? Is it just in bars? Like, if it's just gold you want to get rid of, you blow like $500 on a yard forge, melt down as much of it as you need to, and put it in a ingot and go sell it at the coin shop. If it's like the Queen's crown or something, his value from historicity or something, you're fucked. You got to find a
dealer,
fence. Yeah,
you're right, because you could always just melt it down, and then any cash for gold place will buy small. You can go around.
Yeah.
I mean, Deltona's got 20.
But they were made on it. But to his point, if you did find something, let's say you did find something that transcends just being gold, maybe it's a historical, maybe even a North American, Civil War artifact that's minted gold or forged in gold, like.
It doesn't even have to be that crazy, Dan. Just like the like your cash for gold scrap jewelry shit. Yeah, take that to the store and have it melted down or whatever. But just the simple act of making gold into a coin, like when the U.S. Mint does that, it raises the value a lot because it's just certified gold at that point. You don't have to go through any dumb processes with it. You just know that it's gold. It's called premium. Any act you do to gold after taking it out of the ground basically increases the value by a certain amount.
That's interesting.
All right, next story, Ross.
Not at all interesting, Dan. People are already fast.
No, I actually like it. I like it when we do weird shit. That's weird.
They did that thing where you hit 10 seconds until you hear the news outro music, and then you're back into
I won't play the outro music then. Joke's on them.
All right. Sir Ringo Starr, you might remember him from a little group called The Beatles.
Oh, no.
They're saying they're billing this as a legal win for Ringo Starr, but he dropped a case against the makers of a sex toy. These people make a bunch of sex toys with O in the end of it. Like I don't know for a fact that they have one called the Bingo, but like they very well probably have a Bingo ass plug or something. They had a series of toys called the Screaming O's, and one of them was called the Ringo.
Yeah.
And
Penis
Ringo Starr's been
rings, yeah.
suing their dick off for a couple years, and he didn't win, but this company has agreed to like make it very clear that Ringo Starr has nothing to do with these
Oh
butt
my
plugs.
God! No one thought that Ringo.
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah.
No, nobody
Weird.
ever thinks
Why?
of that Ringo. Well, he's got a bit of an ego, from what I'm told.
He couldn't win the suit against him per se because he has like all the trademarks on Ringo Starr for like music and probably like T-shirts and coloring books and everything. But he didn't think to getting around to sex toys. So somebody and these guys didn't even really intentionally do it. It's just a fucking part of their line. And so he's a Beatle. He can sue them forever and drain them dry. So they came to an agreement like, hey, please stop suing us. And we will just make it very clear Ringo Starr the Beatle has nothing to do with this clit vibrator.
I have a sex toy that has never been used in the package that I kept because I'm stupid. I'm a dumb old man, and I think that it will eventually be worth something.
No.
And if I'll gift it to anybody, it would be Travis Butler, and it is a self-masturbatory sleeve that vibrates called in the font, the Hand Solo. And it's all in Star Wars font. And I believe, based on knowledge that I was gifted from Deborah of Fairville Omega Store, our fine client, it is no longer sold. I will bring it in for you so you can add it to your weirdo toy collection, but it's the Hand Solo, and it's in the Star Wars font. Definitely suable.
Yeah.
Like, I understand that some of these people have no idea, like the celebrities, what their lawyers and their, like, a lot of them have, like, companies that are run, and they just do all this stuff, like, well, they'll...
Management corporations.
Yeah, management companies, and they'll just broadly sue anybody using the word Ringo, whatever, like, cease and desist everybody. So Ringo Starr may not even know about this. But what's in it for, like, why even do it?
Right.
It's like, seems like such a waste of time and money to even go after this adult toy company, because it's like, it's not bothering Ringo Starr's brand or taking money away from him, or it's stupid.
It seems like they're so detached from their brand that they're not willing to get in there and get a little dirty. And what I mean by that, like, one of the other ones I think of is the band Lady Antebellum, or now Lady A, when they had that big to do with that other artist that was Lady A. It seemed like they were completely okay with just letting their management corporation drag their good name through the mud and make it sound really gross and litigious and ugly instead of getting involved, which might have been easier. You might have been able to quell some of the negativity if you were just like, if you actually handled it yourself, which again might be messier and more work for you, but I don't know.
Is it the fact that they have to be doing something, so they have to show their client they're out there working for them, so they just do this, so
Probably.
they could say, we've been doing this, but because there's nothing else for them to do?
But this sounds like something Ringo would have a problem with.
Yeah.
He's a weirdo.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, he's a weirdo.
His lawyers said that Ringo did not want an association with him making sex toy. He didn't want people thinking that he was endorsing the sex toy, basically.
And the funny thing is, no one ever thought that.
Yeah.
And it's always that way. It like with these type of things that happen, it's always like, nobody thought that, and this is stupid.
It goes back to when we wanted to possibly copyright Tom and Dan and her brand. A lawyer told like, well, if someone does use Tom and Dan or your brand, are you going to sue them? Or like, nah, it's too much fucking work. They're like, then why even bother?
Yeah.
It's like, and then you're like,
then we're like,
okay, I guess you're
question,
right.
You fucking idiot.
So we never copyrighted anything. So if you want to sue or steal our brand
steal
or
our
Tom
shit.
and Dan,
Fucking steal it.
Because what are you going to do with it? We can barely do anything.
Hopefully you'll
with
make
it.
it better.
Yeah, like what is that going to do for you? Also, who's going to be fooled by that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, our listeners are gonna know, right?
But like, I
so
hate,
who cares?
but I hate where we're at because there isn't one person on the planet that saw the hand Solo and thought that Lucasfilms made that product. There isn't one person on the planet alive that ever thought that. Because common sense, that they wouldn't license that product.
I guess they could be mad that company is making money off.
What'd they sell? 70 of them?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah,
it's my point again. It's like, what
it's
are you
how
doing?
much money did you make?
Yeah.
It's a
couple $100.
It probably cost $6 to make. It's a vibrating hand sleeve that was made in China, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what did it cost? $3 to make, and they sold it for like what? $80? The markup on sex toys is crazy high.
All right,
and
Ross.
with that, you have parody on your side because it's hand Solo, right? Not hand.
Yeah, it's hand.
You got parody on your side, and that covers fucking everything.
Yeah, it's hand, but it is in the font. It's cool.
This company did agree to avoid any activity that will likely to lead to confusion. They did announce their new Octo dildo, the Octopus's Garden, though.
Was that in that documentary that you watched, Tom?
A lot of tentacles. I don't know why they kind of like landed on tentacles.
Tusks.
Of all, you're like, no, there's not that many tusks.
No, I was just trying to go with the Beatles thing, but no,
hoofs, just tentacles.
They do tentacles.
How about getting 7 other ladies together to like all diddle at the same time? That's got to be a chore.
Yeah, that would be very.
My kids are home, by the way. My kids are here.
I was gonna say you're running hot today. I love it. I love Spicy Ross is good. I love Spicy Ross.
All right.
Next story, Ross.
Yes. See what I got for you guys here.
And he's feeling good too.
We've been charting the attack of the birds all summer so far. Baton Rouge, Louisiana. 60 ducks have taken over a neighborhood. 60 ducks. They've moved in. Residents say they're multiplying, becoming a nuisance. They don't know why, but these ducks show up and they wait at the front doors of these 2 ladies. This news report gives their names, Debbie and Jennifer. The ducks show up, and when these ladies walk around the neighborhood, these fucking 5 dozen ducks follow them around.
Listen,
my pop-up, they're feeding them, right?
My pop-up,
clearly, right, Dan?
Yeah, I mean,
fucking the Rhode Island press or whatever can't put that shit together.
Yeah, they're like,
feeding the fucking
like,
ducks.
what's happening here? Ducks following old ladies. This is an epidemic.
My pop-up hated ducks. He called them lake rats, and
he loved his sandhill cranes.
I was gonna say, didn't he feed some birds?
Yeah, but he liked those because those were elegant. He said ducks are disgusting and they'll eat anything.
They will. And they eat. I've seen a duck shit white and then turn around and eat the white shit. That's how dumb ducks are.
I saw a duck on the internet that had some sort of hole in its neck from some horrible accident or whatever.
Smoking. That was a truth ad.
And then it would eat and then just fall out the hole.
Yeah. Stupid duck. Your food's falling out of your neck.
It's on the internet. It's on Facebook.
Somebody get that duck a mask. Wear a mask, duck. It'll hold your food in.
But the ducks in Miami, they were hardened by horrible conditions and pollution or whatever. And they were mean and would eat anything. And my mom fed one a Parliament Light 100. And I saw it. It ate the whole thing.
Happiest duck in the world.
That's one of my favorite Hemingway short stories, The Ducks in Miami.
Oh, I love that one.
I feel like 60 ducks you could eradicate easily.
I could beat up 60 ducks.
You could.
Is that the question? Whether or not I can fight? I can
One
fight.
One of the quotes
No
from the
weapon needed.
story is, "We can't even open our blinds because the ducks will be there." So they're out in your yard? Who gives a shit?
I'm sorry.
What the fuck?
I was trying to hold it together, but that's insanely funny quote.
I
That's
also
good.
feel like most people are excited to see ducks. Like when my wife goes to the Maitland Farmers Market, there's always ducks.
My God, there's ducks.
Yeah, they bring over, and I'm like, that goddamn lake
Hey there,
rats.
cutie, quack, quack.
And then she's like excited to see the wildlife. And
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
never get excited to see birds.
No, I mean neither.
Ever.
Yeah.
I'm very much not. Very much not a bird person.
If I saw like a peacock every once in a while, I'll be like, oh shit. There's a-
Well, I'll look at it, I'll be like, whoa, what's an alien? I'll be like, put my glasses on, it's a peacock.
Like, and ostriches and like emus and mews or what are they?
Emus.
Emu. You had it right.
Anyway, they're impressive, but other than that, every other
They're
bird
mean
same
and
shit.
ugly though.
Yeah.
I like
Tom only likes the jerky birds.
Oh, that's a dad joke.
Up there on the fire down the hot mop. Hey there, sizzle nuts.
The birds you can get as jerky at an exotic jerky store. That's what I meant.
The only bird that I like, and I stand behind this, was that bird we saw at the River Ranch that was like a golden, it was from Asia. Remember the golden Chinese, like, emperor bird that we saw at the River Ranch? That almost looked like a falcon, and it had like little things coming off of it, and like elegant, weird feather, and it looked Ross. It looked like an Asian bird. Like it looked like somebody took an American bird and took it through the gift shop in Epcot, Japan, or China, and then like coated it in like really cool. It was awesome.
I'll accept that bird and a flamingo.
I like a
Flamingos are
flamingo,
cool.
but
Yeah.
only a flamingo that's full pink. I don't like a white flamingo.
And I only want to see him at the dog track in the middle. Anyway, Miami thing.
I'm going to start texting both of you assholes stills from Bird Cam. I got fucking cardinals. I got blue jays. I got a big-ass woodpecker that comes around all the time. And I got these little guys. I think they're called tricolor wings or some shit like that. They're like a blackbird, but when they fly, they got like a little red, yellow, and white patch under their wings. It's fucking awesome. Hey, speaking of those ladies were clearly feeding ducks, Cranston, Rhode Island, lady charged with feeding wild animals. She was trying to make a rat house. This lady was feeding shit out in her yard, rats everywhere. Here's a surprise. The TV station got involved. TV station went out there. Nocturnal rats active in the middle of the fucking day. This lady and her parents lived in the place, pled not guilty. She said she's just feeding ducks in her backyard. And her quote, which makes me roll my eyes so hard they almost fall on my fucking skull. Who would have known just loving animals gets you in that much trouble?
Oh, I know a lady like that.
The mayor sent his director out. They saw 20 rats in the carport, and the company's going to send an extermination company to the home.
Ross, you should be a rat house consultant, and you know, like seriously, when you know
he's had to deal with it.
You know how they fly the professional in, like
the gator
town.
guy.
The gator guy.
I like
Gator
those
Rob or
shows
whatever.
where the ex-criminal teaches you how to break into your unprotected home. Well, that's kind of what I was thinking. That Ross was going to go that route.
Or if there's any like the guy that specializes in search and rescue in a certain
My
situation.
name's Jerry.
Yeah.
For the first 15 years of my life, I lived on the streets and I was nothing but a petty thief. But now I've turned it all around, and I'm here to help you and your family know how to protect yourself and others. This is Crime Lock.
Like anytime
Something like that, right?
Anytime someone around the country has a rat house pop up next door, like they fly you in and you come in and you're holding your baseball bat. And your
No, he's got a full outfit. He's like that. Remember that nanny show where when your kid was a fucking animal, you'd
Super
call
Nanny.
this Super Nanny.
Yeah, I used to
Ross,
watch
do you
it all
remember
the time.
Super Nanny? Like, when your
yeah.
kid was a fucking asshole. Your
Yeah.
kid is literally like punching you in the face, and they're like, we can't take it anymore. Help us, Super Nanny. And she's like, I'm on my way. And they send this British lady there. So
Stop
Ross
being a
gets out.
twat.
He's like, he's like the Mary Poppins of rats. He gets out,
Yeah.
and he's got his socks on with the sandals, ponytail crazy. He's ready to go.
You got the rat stick.
Yeah, he's got a rat stick. He's got he's got his
got Shadow.
he's got his champagne sword.
Yeah, but Shadow's there for support.
He's got his champagne saber, and he's going in with a top hat on. You need a top hat.
Those guys make a lot of money.
They do
You're a
make a lot of
consultant,
money.
Yeah. Then you're like, you got to evict them first, and it's mental illness.
And I've already got the Pawn Stars, like, let me call my guy formula for you already. Because from this article, I can tell you these people went through the same exact fucking thing. You call the city, you call the county, you call like every elected official. You keep calling and calling until you run out of people to call. And then you call the local news. And then you get them involved in even the slightest way. And then all those people you were trying to call are there in fucking trucks the next goddamn day.
Yeah. It's you know the process because you went through it. Everybody does the same thing.
And people would be waiting for the reveal like every fucking time. They'd be watching me go call like the whoever was in charge of like I called like people in charge of exotic diseases in Orange County and stuff. Like, aren't you worried about rats? And then eventually it would just come to the point where I turned to the homeowner and go, All right, we're calling WJFK.
It's the problem is it's worse when like there's one thing, you know, when every once in a while there's a junk old man that gets pissed off at his neighbors and his HOA and the cops and then just he makes a middle finger out of junk. We've done this.
He made a middle finger out of aluminum foil, I believe, out of balls of aluminum foil.
Just didn't make the news this week. A lady won a court case in California to keep her house, which looks like the Flintstones house and is decorated with like hundreds of statues of Flintstone characters and shit.
See, like when that happens, it's like when they finally shut him down and then they bulldoze his house down. It's like, well, that old man was like he was doing it on purpose, right? Like he knew. But the people. The people that love, like, they do it because they truly believe in their heart they're trying to do the best thing, and they're doing it out of love. That's what it's sad.
Yeah, it is.
It's the same thing with the lady that feeds her like 800-pound husband 17 eggs in the morning and a sausage. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he just gets so mad if I don't feed
but
him.
she's doing it because she loves her husband and she doesn't want him to be sad. But you're like, you're killing him.
Took care of me for years. He even worked 3 jobs when I went back to nursing school, and I got my degree. And when I got out, you know, I figured I would just help him. But after the accident, his legs just kept getting bigger and bigger, and then he got them varicose veins, and now he has to live under a sheet.
Yep, she's doing it because she loved it. And the people that get the hoarder animal situation, a lot of times they get in their mind that they need to like take care of these animals, and more come, and the rats come, and it's like, and then
you know, the saddest though is when they die, and then the things that they were taking care of eat her, are eating her.
But they don't have enough.
Like, you took care of them, and you made the problem, and you die in that house alone because your family's alienated you, and then all these creatures you were keeping alive eat your body.
But even the animals that they think they're doing good for, they're all dying because you don't have enough food and no way to take care of them, so they're all fucked up.
They're doing their best.
But it's like, come on, look what happened. Just stop. Like you're ruining. Come on. And then it's sad, and they bring all the animals. They euthanize them all, by the way, because they all got diseases, and they're all fucked.
Are they all fucked up? Well, you know what? I'm too lazy to check them all. We're just gonna kill them all.
They try to save some, but most of them.
We tried to save the cat with the tumors in its eyes, but we had to put a drain in its neck. It's not looking good.
And then all the rest of the rats and kill all those things. You know,
by the
kill
way,
everything.
Can we start this? Every commercial that has a cat on it with a tube in its neck for drainage, can we just kill all those cats?
What are you talking about?
Every commercial, there's a cat. He's like, it's one of those cats. It's got a drain in its neck.
I've never seen that.
And then there's these commercials, and they show this cat.
Daniel's still watching regular TV.
Wow.
We don't. We only get commercials marketing to only things we like because we're watching on the internet. But Daniel's still getting rando commercials marketed to him.
I still watch
Arms of an Angel.
I still watch regular TV. I can't wait to get home today and watch People's Court.
It's weird to have random commercials that have nothing to do with anything you're interested in.
It's not weird if you enjoy them.
I'm just saying it's weird to see that nowadays.
It is, absolutely.
Last story.
We still got the lady on our street that feeds the cats in her yard and shit. Like even after all the rat house and everything, we still have that fucking lady. And I think I was at the lunch with Bart or something, and we saw the cat just had a litter, and it was leading like 6 little cats across the fucking street. You know, just living wild in the field and whatever. And usually we retain 1 or 2. I have not seen one of those kittens since then. They all fucking died.
No, yeah. It's they reproduce too much, and it's like you're not doing the best for them, but it's all you could do. You're doing it out of love, though. That's the sad part.
You are the intent. You always go back to intent.
Yeah.
This is from Christine in our chat room. I used to have a pet rat that ran away, then learned years later that my mom shit punted it over the fence in the backyard because it bit her. I'm sorry, Christine. That's traumatic.
Pet rat.
That's traumatic. I found out that my dad punted my pet turtle into a sinkhole because he thought it was dead, but it was just hibernating.
Last story, Ross.
I was going to make a joke about a turtle being the one animal you didn't want to punt, Dan. That's fucked up.
No, I didn't know. Dad did. Dad would punt any animal, by the way. Like even dogs he loved. If they did something he didn't like, he'd punt them.
Yeah, well, the other dude, for sure. Okay, a little bit of Florida news for you guys. Somebody here in Daytona Beach, dropped a box off a truck. Happens all the time. You see shit on I-4 constantly. This is I-95, my bad. This guy lost a box. Usually it's a cooler. You see coolers all the fucking time here in Florida. They're fucking road hazards. This guy lost a box containing 100 homing pigeons. And these homing pigeons, I know what you're thinking, just fly away home. It happened at night, and they don't fly at night. So they were fucking up I-95 all night, like huddled up on the road.
Oh, these poor pigeons.
They're expensive, right? The ones that you train?
You got to strap that down, right?
Like, how long does it take to train a pigeon? Like, to actually fly somewhere and fly back? Is that like months or years?
You know what? That is an excellent question.
Tyson does it.
I don't know if he dabbles in it anymore, does he?
I think he still got birds.
Really?
I think so.
He's still a birdman.
I think so.
My understanding is that you build a coop and you acquire pigeons, and then you let them have a couple pigeons there, and the pigeons that are born there, that's just their spot. That's my understanding.
So once they're born there, they'll always go back.
That's pretty cool.
Or if you can like reestablish their home somewhere else. I'm not sure if that's the case, and this may have just been something I read in a book 100 years ago that was wrong.
So the dream would be to have an egg, and then you hatch said pigeon egg where the Queen of England keeps the crown jewels, right? And then you grow a pigeon in the jewel area, and then you somehow have to train the pigeon to retrieve the jewels and fly them away in some weird way. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a weird way to use these birds to my advantage.
No, it just you have them. They shit up everything.
There's really no advantage.
And then everybody thinks you're crazy.
Yeah, okay. There's no advantage in that.
Nah.
All right, Ross. Do you have any shows
coming? Foley work, and then I'll do my plugs, you guys. Foley work. I got a bunch of online yelling at for not doing it last time.
Yes.
So just real quick, this is a gong. This is a gong. Thank you.
I enjoyed that.
Oh, why is it so staccato?
It's a staccato.
Yeah, it's a lot of reverb on that.
I didn't know you knew the word staccato.
Setup. Maybe I didn't have the setup quite right. Maybe my water levels are off or something.
Whoa!
How?
How do you see?
You can see, like, I'm working with Tom. It was a pretty good effort, right?
Yeah. Oh my God, he was working with a grow unicorn. my daughter would tackle you right now for that. A growing unicorn in a thing of water.
Is it a Brita water filter with
a unicorn growing?
Does a unicorn do anything?
It expands. It's one of those unicorns you put it in the water and it.
Like
So,
but does that help with the gong?
Well spotted, because a lot of people would have said horse, but there is a little bump of horn on there. It is a unicorn.
Yes, we're right here. We're right here.
Where are you going to
All right,
be
guys,
at, Ross?
you can see me at the Bull and Bush on Wednesdays. I'm there every Wednesday at 9 for open mic night. Every first and third Saturday at the Bull and Bush's shit sandwich. We do have a good one tomorrow. I don't know. There's people coming out. I don't know if they want me blowing up their business, but if you come out to the Bull and Bush tomorrow, you'll see some good people.
You will.
At Bull and Bush. I do have a Tots out with Sean Finnerty. Go check out the Orlando Talk Show with Ross McCoy and your favorite podcast app. And the one with Sean Finnerty is really good, especially if you want to hear him giving me shit about asking everybody if they've ever seen a UFO and the fact that nobody ever has. All right, thanks, guys. Bye.
See you, Ross. All right, we'll take
I like how he just pieces out. He's like, I can't do this anymore. I'm out.
Let's take a quick break. When we
Indeed.
come back, I don't know what we'll talk about. I want to talk about that NCAA.
Let's talk about that
rule change.
We actually, that particular person is in the chat room. If they want to call and ask their question instead of just the email, I think it was Air Chubby.
I believe it was
In the Twitch chat room who asked that. Yeah, if you want to call in, we're going to cuss and discuss what you have to say. Anything that you want to kick around is certainly on the table.
Is the party line open?
You want to do it? I mean, I don't know if people will call.
Yeah,
normally we rely on voicemails and stuff like that, but if you guys want to call, I'll just roll the phone lines. It would be my dream to open the phone lines third segment and just take phone calls for about a half an hour and then get out of here. That'd be awesome. I would love to do that.
People don't like calling in because we
not a
make
thing
fun of them.
That's probably
No, it's not even that. I think it's deeper than that. I don't think people like. I don't like phone calls anymore.
I don't
Like
either.
if you call me, yesterday was my dad. It would have been my dad's birthday, but my dad's twin brother is alive.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to go through the task, which can be weird, to call a man who looks exactly like my dad and sounds exactly like my dad, but isn't my
that's
dad
gotta be trippy as
on
fuck.
my dad's birthday, and then have him and my wife and my daughter all wish him a happy birthday, and then when he talks back to us all on speakerphone, you're talking to my fucking dad. It's a mind fuck.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird, and I don't know how to describe it to anybody.
I don't think you can describe it to anybody
No,
unless you've lived
and,
it.
and then I'll
It's
describe
gotta
it.
be
We
super
can talk
rare.
about this too. I'll describe something else weird to you. My Aunt Connie, Doug's wife, asked me if I would be okay talking to Doug, and what am I supposed to say? I'm
Right.
always going to say yes because he's my dad's brother. But I'm lying if I say it doesn't get
Weird
me
you
and
out
get me
or-
in the
yeah.
brain. Yeah, it is always
fucks with
weird.
you, yeah.
It is never not weird, and it will be weird until I can no longer do it. Having a man it's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Although
Like fucking
it's the
Twilight
it's-
Zone
It
shit.
is the weird because it's like I still okay.
Is it better,
I'm not gonna
though?
cry or get weirded out, but is it?
Please cry.
I like it, but it does make me uncomfortable. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I enjoy that. I don't want both of them to not be around. That's
Of course, yeah.
Who would say that? A psychopath. But it is fucking weird.
It's got okay. Because I'm trying to think if it would be comforting or it would make me feel good in any way, but that's not your dad.
Right.
But then it looks exactly and sounds exactly like your dad.
It sounds like when he breathes, he's like, all right. Like the things he said, he's like, oh, Dad Lee, oh, so good. It very much, like, how y'all doing? Like the Southern, that Virginia.
Accent,
yeah. And then it's,
Dude,
even Maisie's looking at me. Well, luckily she didn't know Dad. But Andrea can't, I'm sitting there, Andrea can't do it. She's more sensitive in some ways than even I am because I've been around Tom enough to learn, I've picked up tricks on stuffing feelings into your belly to turn it into cancer. You've taught me that.
I'm telling you that you need a Whoopi Goldberg ghosted. I've said this joke before, but just close your eyes and hug him, and then
feels
listen
like my
to him
dad.
talk.
Dude,
that is.
It feels like your dad.
Like,
And you want me to
seriously.
get weird on you? You want me to get weird on you? I guarantee you, he would wear the same cologne as my dad.
Well, he smells. He
would smell exactly like my fucking dad.
Besides from his brain and his personality,
He's my dad.
Identically,
He's my dad.
genetically the exact.
Exactly.
He's got the same fingerprints.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? He's got the same DNA.
He's a mirror image, too, which is the weirdo twins, where my dad parted everything on the left-hand side. My dad was left-handed. And then the way the egg split, Doug is an exact replica of my dad, but he's all right side.
Yeah.
It's like in G.I. Joe, there was Tomax and Matsum. There were these two guys. Look up the G.I. Joe twins. Just type in G.I. Joe twins. There were these twins in G.I. Joe that were exactly like my dad. One had a scar in his right eye. One had a scar in his left eye.
Tomax and Zamot.
Yeah.
So the names are
Tomax
mirrored.
and Zamot. Yeah, they're mirrored names. And that, always, even growing up, and I was a big G.I. Joe fan, I was like, holy shit, that's my dad and his brother,
But it's like
mirror image twins.
Anybody's who has had their dad die, and then if you're like, well, I'll give anything to hug my dad one more time or whatever.
Oh, Andrea's in there. Shit.
You could at least hug a person that's exactly the same as your dad.
But I might freak out.
Yeah.
But then
I don't think I would
Because
want to.
Andrea
do
doesn't
that.
like us talking about it. She's in the chat room right now, and she's even 12 years after. It's been 12 years since.
I can't believe it's been 12
she
years.
can't even. She can't even talk about it. They were best friends. And cut up, dirty talking, getting
What?
crazy. Well, my dad. I like to be a bit blue at times, and my dad very much like me, and they were BFF.
But I'm trying to think of psychologically, okay, because I made this argument before with dogs. Was it?
It was Bette Midler, or no. It was who's the
Barbra Streisand.
Barbra Streisand, yeah. She gets her same dog, just genetically made every single time, and she's had the same exact copy of the dog for I don't know how many different times or whatever. And I understand that a little bit. Yes, it's not the same dog, but I made this argument with a dog that looked exactly like it. 'Cause I've seen dogs that look like Lena before, right? That literally like a black mutt dog that's like a greyhound and other something.
Yeah, little white feet.
a white snoot.
My next door neighbor's dog, Olive, looks exactly, a little bit taller, but looks exactly like Lena.
Some BDM has a dog that, if I saw the picture of him, like, that's Lena. I can't tell the difference. Even though my wife, and she adamantly denies that she could ever have the same feelings towards a new dog that looked exactly the same, but I was like, I think because human brains are lazy, and I think you
fall into it.
You fall over time where it's just like you get the same you got from Lena, like, and then your brains would make the same connections, and it'd be like, it just turns into Lena.
The reason that people want to deny that, right, and say, oh, I would never have the feelings, is because you think that you're making a choice, and you're not. You're not making a choice. Of course she doesn't. She will not have the same feelings by making the choice that she does with Lena. That's not possible. But subconsciously, you don't have any control over that.
Your brain.
And the way that your brain works, and I've realized this through therapy of my anxiety, there's a lot that happens in here that I'm not doing shit. I mean, I think we all know that. That's the bad shit. It's just working on its own and figuring out little equations of anxiety and little ways to stress me out and shit like that. It's working in the background. It's a background kind of deal.
I'm sure Samantha's because you're into the true crime podcast, and I'm sure you've probably heard a lot of people talk about this. But like, if you listen to any podcast or neurologist about how your brain works or whatever, and our brains are super lazy. And like it doesn't, like, our brains day to day will take the laziest route to go. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you're saying lazy, but what your brain's looking for, and you're exactly right. Efficiency.
Yeah.
Your brain's looking to be efficient. So, like, even the way my eyes were glancing around here, there's certain things that I've seen a million times. It'll just my mind remembers, and it'll just I'm going to give you the lazy version of this, but something could be sitting there that I'm not going to notice.
Yeah.
Because.
Yes, and it's like eyewitness testimony is the worst shit. It's like because everybody remembers everything wrong.
100%.
Your memory is shit. It turns out you can implant memories in people's minds easily.
What I'll do?
People get confused. They misremember everything.
You know what I'll do? Maybe I'll do. I'll reach out to him because he's older and a little bit, his health isn't perfect. But I'll reach out to them because we're going to talk to him again this weekend. Me and Andrea. I'll reach out to Doug, and maybe we can have him call in. Just for a split second so everybody can hear it. Because it's cool.
I don't want to make him uncomfortable, though.
No.
If he's cool with
he's
it.
a tough old real man. Cool dude.
Yeah, you're right.
He don't care. I mean, it'd be fun for him to be on a radio show or a podcast,
And also,
I'll see if I can do that, though. I don't want I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable, but it's weird.
Like, our brains evolved to keep us alive, not necessarily to make the best decisions or whatever.
Or to make it comfortable. It's not trying to make it comfortable. It's just trying to keep it alive.
We're animals. Like, we evolved to try to stay alive to cream pie, and then you die. Seriously,
cream pie, and then you die,
Isn't that what they put on the sign? It says cream pie, stay alive.
We never were like, we're living way too long. Our teeth are falling out. It's like, you're never supposed to live that long. But cream pie a long time ago. You're alive for nothing. But it's like, so then we're like, why is my brain working like this? It's fucked up. Like, it evolved to do a certain thing to keep you alive. So we're all walking around here thinking we're fucking smart and like, why? And it's like we're doing these crazy things and like because we've evolved this way.
Absolutely that.
Anyway. Let's take a break.
We will
come back. Let's talk about that athlete stuff and
Chubby. We'll Air Chubby. If you're still in the chat room, maybe we'll get you to call in. The name of the band is Gitters. The name of the song is Row. We'll be back with more on Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. 1-844-TOMNDAN. Phone lines are open. We'd love to talk to you if you got the time to call from work or whatever. 1-844-TOMNDAN. And we will be right back. To talk about now, buddy. I have absolutely nothing in my brain. It's drained out. It's completely empty right now.
I just thought of something right now.
Okay.
On TikTok, I was watching
Into the thick of it.
Mr. Beast. It may have not been on TikTok.
I'm not a big fan of the Mr. Beast. I don't want to be a hater, but Something about that guy
I'm
that
not
just
into it either.
grinds me a little bit.
And he was he's like, we're gonna fill this backyard with 100 million Orbeez, and then they show him one
everybody
pack.
I thought you wanted to do that one year for your son's birthday.
Well, and I'm watching it, and then it's got millions of views, obviously, right? And the guy's like, just him and his.
He's the guy with the big teeth, right? Mr. Beast. Your teeth are too big, Mr. Beast.
I'm only guessing it's Mr. Beast because he had a Mr. Beast shirt on. I didn't.
No. A lot of the kids I've seen.
He's got the douche stash, young guy.
It was a young
does
guy.
he have a stash now?
Yeah.
I thought he was the guy with it's always smiling like this.
He is smiling.
He looks
up.
British. He's like, if you could fill this sucker, put it in the sucker. I'll buy it for you. I don't know what he sounds like. I just see his teeth, and I just assume he's like, he should be called Mr. Teeth.
What's weird about it, and it goes kind of into what Daniel and I were talking about earlier this week. We were trying to like. Every once in a while in the morning, we'll get in here and we'll start having deep conversations trying to figure shit out.
Normally it's Butler.
And
I'm joking. We're not.
So this guy, he's filling his backyard full of Orbeez. Like, my Orbeez already, and then him and his friends
We
or
were
whatever.
perplexed by the trampoline man, the shower.
And it's got the views, but I didn't give a shit about this person or his friends or the characters. It was just like what they were doing was like just the waste of time. It's like, I want to see what happens. And nothing happened, by the way. Like fucking nothing. It was just a bunch of Orbeez all over the floor.
Apparently he's done a lot of cool charity stuff, Mr. Beast.
I'm sure he has. Yeah, I'm not saying he's bad or good. I'm just
guess
saying,
who? I've done a lot of cool charity shit, and I got small teeth.
There's
so
also
take that.
there's one where he sets off $600,000 worth of fireworks, and he's like, "This is 40,000. This is 50,000."
Oh no, he always does. He's like, "We're gonna open up these mystery crates. Oh, this one's $500, and this one over here is $50,000."
And then I'm like, "Is he?"
Is that where we got the mystery box idea?
Yeah, absolutely. If you look on the bottom, it says sponsored by Mr. Beast.
But anyway, and I started thinking, I was like, yes, this got a lot of views, but I don't. And maybe the other him is just an old man, and other people younger than me that follow this person care about his like character, his life story, his past, or whatever. But what he's presenting is very just fluff nonsense, right?
Yeah.
Which we do too. But me and Daniel were talking about like, man, this is not long form talking or character development or just
Doesn't matter. He puts out so much of it though.
Yeah, no,
burning hot. Yeah.
And
like
the way people consume shit now, they want it fast. They don't want 3-hour shows. BDM.
He bought all.
Tell me they do.
Supposedly, Mr. Beast bought all the cars at a car dealership, according to the chat room, and then he was just like gifting the cars to people. And I want to make a prediction right now. We will never do that.
No.
We'll never do that.
Also,
we are going to auction off the grift truck for charity, though.
Yes,
Yeah,
we're
we are.
working on that still.
Take that. Does Mr. Beast auction off a shitty truck for like a little bit of money for kids? No, he does not.
He gives away cars and gives money to kids. Way better than
he
us.
can't do that. He can't do what we do.
Does he have Seth's girlfriend do a bikini
Yeah.
photo,
By
which
the way,
we have to Photoshop
I
into the
need-
thing because we can't figure out how to get them both in the same place?
Can I have the login?
She can come to my house.
Can I have the
She
login
would
for
not
that,
try.
please? Can I have the login for that, please? Because there's been a
You're
glitch.
the only one who has it.
There's been a glitch in my matrix, and I can't remember how big our areolas are.
I never saw him.
Oh, you're missing out.
Anyway,
Broke him.
I don't know why I said that. The college student athlete stuff.
You want to sponsor somebody.
Someone sent us an email and they're like, "Hey, I saw some other people like Barstool Sports or whatever. They're doing a bit where they're sponsoring, and it seemed like they are like saying they're sponsoring people that are not going to make the NFL as a way to support them. You know, that's their bit.
No, I don't want to support losers.
I
want to support the boy. I'm not trying to be mean.
And then the BDM was like, you should sponsor a local athlete.
That was Air Chubby.
Yeah, Air Chubby.
Yeah, from our chat room.
And then we started talking about it. I was like, it'd be cool if we like sponsored some UCF college football player, like some punter, and then they'd be. But I
want you to sponsor some like random sport. Though.
Can it be a punter? Yeah. Why do we have to do a punter?
I don't want to do like football.
I want a guy putting up points. Can we get a kicker?
Yeah.
Well, I guess that just is probably more money based on their popularity.
The UCF curling team or something.
Well, then no one sees it. What's good? What's in it for us?
Let's not bottom out here. Like, let's not take bottom tier.
Well, that's what I mean.
Kicker over punter.
See, there's a value when people sponsor, like when advertisers sponsor a NASCAR, they're getting a value. They don't just want the hey, we're giving you money.
Well, we don't want the guy nobody cares about the punter.
Well, he's on the field a lot, and
not for UCF. We got a pretty decent offense, right?
I'm just saying, I'm taking out the star quarterback, the running back, wide receiver. They'll be too expensive.
Yeah. What about an assistant coach?
Again, no one sees them.
They're on the sideline the whole time.
Yeah, but
Tom and Dan's shirt, Tom and Dan on the back.
Water boy.
Nitro.
They won't let you wear it anywhere on the television. That's for sure.
Well, we hide it.
It'd have to
be
we
hid the dicks in the cruise shirts.
Who would have the? Dude, they I'm sure the NCAA.
They paint their cleats, right? Their shoes.
If you have any other brand of anything that's not approved by them, you'll be.
But what about
fined.
after game interviews? Can they wear a
Tom and Dan hat,
straw hat,
a golden hat that has the tips touching that golden black and gold?
No, they you can't wear anything unapproved. I'm pretty sure any TV stuff we can't get our logo on TV.
Yeah, but if later he can dance in a TikTok video wearing a shirt.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So their own social media.
Yeah.
Who's the person that's got the most followed social media?
I don't even know who
on
the players
UCF?
are on UCF.
The UCF player right now.
Oh, I don't know.
Or Florida college football player.
No, you're willing to take all colleges.
I guess we should stick with UCF.
Bethune-Cookman.
Your alumni, yeah.
Embry-Riddle.
Yeah.
USF.
Stetson. Stetson has a football team.
See, I don't.
Dude, Valencia.
Daytona State.
Valencia doesn't have a football team.
Well, Stetson actually started their program, I want to say 3 years ago. Stetson, right before the pandemic, they started a football program. They never had one. Stetson is a private college in DeLand. And we could probably sponsor, we may even be able to get a higher level and bigger profile player just because they're in a smaller division.
Yes, you could, but who watches Stetson football?
A lot of people do.
Do they?
Yeah, that area is pretty. Yeah,
I guess you're right.
Only because they've been thirsting for it, and Florida is a football state. Most programs get absorbed in Florida just because people in Florida like football and people in Texas like football.
There are probably high school football players, especially in Texas, that are more popular than college football players,
Probably,
locally and stuff.
Yeah.
And I know down in Miami, some of the high school football teams and stuff. You remember when was it Master P was paying players under the table and stuff? That was all. EJ tells about that.
I think I just saw a story where Master P's son just signed a $2 million deal.
I heard about that. With who?
That's a talented
let's
family.
see.
Jesus Christ.
NCAA allow the student. HBCU. What the hell's that?
Something university.
So he signed a deal. Well, I thought
that just stands for historically black colleges and universities.
So did he sign a deal with a historical black college and universities organization to sponsor him to maybe go to a black college and university?
Let me see if he actually signed
probably,
to a specific school.
Almost he's going to be maybe a, what do you call it, a spokesperson or a chairman or a ambassador for black college. I could see that. Yeah, I could totally see it's no different than Florida tourism board or hey, we want integrity within our schools.
Mm-hmm.
This is important to us. These are our rules. This guy's our
He signed a deal with an American app technology company.
Oh.
I have no idea how it works, and I'm trying to figure it out now. Do the colleges, do they have to pay the players now when they sell their jerseys and they're this?
I don't think so. I think players kind of have to have companies come to them and offer them sponsorships.
I think it's a
grab
double.
that?
I could be wrong. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's
It's EJ, by the way.
Yeah.
EJ, thanks for calling. What is your misinformation?
Well, no, because have you seen the ruling of what's going on and how it's going to benefit more female athletes than it is male athletes, because mostly they're going to use their social media and they'll put it on Twitch and stuff like that. The Cavender twins from where are they from?
Well, I mean,
read the article about it.
Tough luck, ugly. You're not as attractive as the girls.
Yeah, right. Like,
yeah, that's just the way it rolls. Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
if the girls get more money because they're more attractive on Twitch
Look,
and
at
it's a
least
male
let us
dominated,
have that.
That's what I'm saying.
You
It's
guys
like-
get the NFL.
Yeah.
You get all the national
Yeah,
teams.
it's fine. It is
that
what
make
it
the
is.
big money, and we
Yeah,
don't make shit.
Yeah, it is what it is.
So, EJ, can the players, the individual players, accept money from any company, or does it have to be approved?
We have a lot of people saying.
See, the crazy thing is, I've been getting all these emails from Miami on stuff that I can't. Like, they're telling me, like, you can't get in contact with the coaches to talk to the athletes to get sponsorship. The athlete either has to approach you or have like. It's such a weird rules that they're doing now because everything's different for each state depending on the state rules. Like the NCAA wasn't even ready for this to happen, so it's a mess. Like they're not even sure what's going on.
Well, we can, like, a company can contact the athlete individually, right?
Yeah, but you'd have to get their contact, and it's weird the way.
Well, that's what I'm gonna do. Social media.
I'm gonna drive
I can find every college athlete on social media. Like I'm 98% of them have a social media. I can literally just look their name up. There it is. Boom.
I do that with
they're
everybody.
wearing the
I did that
jersey.
with Snoop Dogg, EJ.
The policy allows college athletes and recruits to make money off of activities like autograph signings, endorsements, and personal appearances as long as they are consistent with any applicable state laws where the athlete's school is located.
So we're gonna support this UCF punter, and we're gonna get him to appear at all of our events.
You'd have to just pay him.
Yeah, no, of course we'd pay him. That's the rules.
Well,
I like this idea.
So, but
Pay him in hot dog coins.
Could they endorse anything like Fleshlight, or like is the college going to have a problem if their kicker
absolutely
is endorsing?
You know the answer to that question.
A company that makes them look bad.
Absolutely, you know the answer to that question. There'll be some sort of ethics involved
It'll
or
be
morality
Ringo
clauses.
Starr's cock rings.
Yeah, no, you're not allowed to do that. You mean to tell me you're for UCF and you're the quarterback, and then Fleshlight comes to you and says we want you to advertise this tentacle Fleshlight? No, wait, not in a million years. That's not going to happen.
So they would say, based on the contract, we have the right to not let you.
Sure,
there's
there's got to be something in there. They're not going to let it be the Wild West. Wait, you take anybody?
Yeah.
Oh, Putin just decided he wants to sponsor you. Now you're sponsored by the Russian, Communist Party.
I'm sure we're getting a lot of this wrong, and we'll talk to Mo.
Well, that's
about
what
this.
the chat room's saying. But
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with getting anything wrong because I don't know anything about this, and I've said that.
We're just talking it out.
EJ's the guy that's calling in to give us like the info, and if you call into a radio show to give us the info, you should know the info. And you know what? I applaud your bravery for calling in and knowing nothing.
Radio. I don't know what we're doing.
Well, you know what I mean.
Luke Fan from your chat room is right. The quarterback, Derek King, he got a sponsorship from College Hunks hauling junk. He got like $20,000. He signed that night.
Yeah, but that's
to just be like the face of the company.
But that's not a porno company, is what we're saying. You know, like College Hunks hauling junk. The only thing problematic there would be the word hunks.
Yeah. Like, could you sponsor a medical marijuana brand or
No
like
way.
a marijuana brand?
No.
Like,
I
what if
just
you were
don't
in
believe it.
Colorado or California?
I still don't-
Saw your likeness. I don't know, like, if they have the rules about like morality. I don't think they have. It depends on if you sign, because when you sign your deal with the school, there is some morality clauses that are like tied into your sponsorship, your scholarship. So that might be part of that. It just depends on the school and how their like scholarships are set up.
All I know is it's going to be a goddamn mess.
Yeah,
the whole thing is
it's going to be a mess.
Yeah, because
because the NCAA dragged their feet the whole time, not wanting this to happen. And like Dabo Sweeney said he was going to quit if the athletes ever got paid. I wonder if he's going to hold up to his word, which of course he's not.
So it says some opportunities will be restricted, but the types of restrictions will vary based on the state laws and policies created by individual schools. For example, some but not all state laws prohibit athletes from endorsing alcohol, tobacco, or gambling products. Some but not all laws prohibit athletes from using their school's logo or other copyrighted materials. So yeah, there's going to be, the schools can have certain rules that they cannot endorse certain products as well as the state.
I want like a Go Gators sponsored by Pornhub, and then I want Albert and the girl gator, like a cartoon of them humping. Yeah, I want all of that.
Yeah, but it's like, all right, I can understand they don't want their, the quarterback from Alabama screaming DraftKings. You know what I'm saying? Like, because there's a gambling, and you're like, he's like, bet the over. But then
that touchdown sponsored by Ashley Madison.
But then what about a gambling podcast that doesn't necessarily gamble, that talks about gambling? Where, you know what I'm saying? Like, it all becomes gray area.
Well, because there's gray area and because it's gambling, I guarantee you they're going to say no. You can't do that.
But what about, like, what if we talk about gambling? Is that,
in our case, they would sign the deal and then we'd talk about gambling, and then in the middle of the sponsorship, they'd cancel it. You know, like, that's the way it works.
But also, you have
breach a contract or something.
Yeah. There's so many football players on a team that think about, like we talked about, Barstool Sports is already doing that. They're sponsoring some fucking second string center or whatever, just throwing money at it. Like, so many players and collegiate athletes a school has that it's, how are they going to keep track? You would have to have a full-time person just checking people's social media, who's sponsored by who's taking money.
Yeah, it's going to be out of control.
Yeah,
it's creating jobs for sure.
Well, good for, and listen, the college athletes should get paid and should have the opportunity to make money if they can. If they're popular, you should be able to make money off your likeness because first, it's only fair.
It is.
You know, but
I want to see how this game shakes out too, because they rebooted the EA college game day game, you know, like the whole like college football game.
Yeah.
People like, it was beloved, and they rebooted it. So I can only imagine now that those players are going to want to be compensated, right, for being in the game.
Well, I don't know if it goes back.
Yeah, it probably isn't like retrofitted in any way, but I'm just saying.
But moving forward, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I watched that. Kind of ties in a little bit.
Thanks for calling, EJ.
Yeah. We'll hang up with you.
See you. Get out of here. You're messing up the show.
He's gonna ask for something.
Yeah, get out of here. You asked for nothing.
I watched that college admissions scam documentary.
About the family house lady.
Yeah.
All that.
What's her name?
About the Massimo. Massimo's her. He's her husband. Massimo.
There were a lot of rich and powerful people wrapped up in that.
Well, duh. No, because they can pay their fucking
What
kids
was your take of Lori Loughlin after watching it? Do you think she's an old bitch?
No, it's exactly what is always gone on and will always go on, which is people throwing money at it. It's just
money can buy you anything.
And these rich people that have unlimited money were just throwing money at a guy that was saying, "Hey, I'll guarantee to get your kid in college." And they were kind of like, it seemed. The documentary is not that good because all they had to go on was the voice phone records of these conversations. So basically, they had nobody in that was involved in this in the documentary.
Of course, someone's going to agree to that.
It was all actors. It was actors.
Ooh, I love actors.
Yeah, playing the part of these people because they.
They did reenactments.
Yeah, because
that's Bobo.
But they reenacted the exact conversations because they had all these
the transcripts.
Hours of transcripts from the voice, and that's how they got them. And they were laughing, and they're not laughing, but they were saying that it was surprising how many of these rich people were so flippant about talking about this on the phone because
why wouldn't they be?
They're not criminals. Like, it's just fucking rich people.
Yeah.
They were and based on all the conversations, it seemed like they knew it was wrong, but they were like, like you're doing it right. Like it was like kind of like they were like, yeah, she's gonna get in.
It's like when I first started buying weed, I would have a friend buy it, and I just give him some money.
And then you're like, he's buying it.
And then I'm not dealing with a drug dealer.
And then there was a small part of me. I'd sit in my apartment and I'd smoke my weed in my little bowl, and I'd toot, and I'd get a little high. And there's a small part of me that was a little embarrassing myself because I was like, "You fucking pussy." You know what I mean? Like there is, because I wasn't going all in on it.
Yeah. And
I would like to think that I'm not gonna need to buy my daughter's way into college if she chooses to go. I would like to think that, she's smart enough, or maybe, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but then you're going to have these rich fucks who are going to screw your daughter out of her admission.
It's fine. I've already accepted that. Like, I don't anticipate her wanting to go to, like, Dartmouth or Yale, or, like, I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like
they just wanted to get their kids into a super popular
elite school because that usually can
because
guarantee you something greater. But I just think that's shitty, man.
They were paying for it, and what I didn't like when I first heard about the thing, I didn't understand how they were like getting in through the crew team and all these other sports. And basically, it's weird. It's like the college admissions, if the coach, and they were just paying off the coaches to accept, and they were photoshopping the people's faces.
Yeah.
But apparently, like, once a college accepts you, like, all right, well, you're accepted. You're still going to have to pay 100%. None of them are getting scholarships or anything.
Yeah.
But you're accepted based on the coach's recommendation of the crew team. You're accepted. But after they're accepted, it doesn't matter. They'll never
never look into
or
it.
whatever.
No.
It's just getting past that barrier, and that was it. It didn't
just to get a slot.
They didn't have to. No one ever followed up.
It
And
was
like,
like
how's this crew athlete?
It's like
nothing.
carrying a clipboard at Vans Warped Tour.
Yes, yeah, just walking
once
through.
Once you get past that first line of Mountain
they're
Dew
not going to come and look for you.
Nah, I got better things to do.
Even if they see, like, oh, he's there. Oh, fuck.
There he is.
But and this guy made a lot of money just getting rich kids into college.
So did they go into a little bit of their backstory? Do they go like, how did the Mozimo man, how did he make his money? Because all I know of Mozimo was that it was
Mossimo?
It's clothing that I saw at Target.
Yeah.
Alongside Cherokee brand.
Yes, correct.
It's all clothing.
But what is Mozimo?
Just he's a
It's
designer.
He's a clothing designer.
Yeah, what does he design? T-shirts? Because I can do that.
It's just a brand.
And
Then I'm a
shorts.
designer. I'm Danzio.
They were big in the 90s.
Yeah.
Mozimo? Yeah, I
Mozimo,
remember,
yeah.
but like quickly, it burned hot. It was like Maui and Sons.
Well, now they're at Walmart, I believe.
Sold it.
No, I know. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like, that shit burns hot. It's like, it's premium brand for like 3 days.
Yeah,
and then
Pacific
Mozimo
somewhere.
is like, that's some shit brand.
Yeah, you just
Specialized in youth and teenage clothing such as shirts, jeans, jackets, socks, underwear, and accessories.
Yeah,
I specialize in teen clothing.
During his first year in business, he grossed $1 million.
Oh, my God.
Well done.
Well done.
Not that much.
No.
First year, though? That's pretty good.
I was just saying.
When what?
First year in the 90s? That's not bad.
1987.
How much
What's
was
he
it?
worth? What's he worth?
$1987
What's Mozimo worth?
Now,
I always thought Mozimo was like a volleyball brand. Mozimo to me was volleyball.
ooh, estimated $100 million.
Yeah, that Mozimo has a lot of volleyballs.
Well, I think that's the daughter that was a social media influencer already,
Yeah.
and didn't even want.
She
or
didn't wanna
care
go to
about
college.
She didn't care about going to class.
Yeah.
She liked to party.
And again, it's just you're throwing money at it.
Yeah.
That's all these people were doing. I'm sure. Oh man, they probably shit their pants
In the
when
year
they
2000.
they're like, oh my god, it's all on tape. The FBI had been recording this guy's conversations with all these rich people for a long time, and so it was just blatant, like 100% guilty because there was just long conversation exactly what they did. Then once they got the guy, they turned him and flipped him on these people and got him to admit everything, and they knew it.
It's a nightmare scenario.
Well, and they
that's
said
the worst case, right? Is that the guy that's doing it can flip?
Well, a lawyer said it's the
Must
first
have got a deal.
It's
yeah.
the first time he's ever seen them flip the top down. So usually you flip a low level drug dealer and then move your way to the guy who's like farming it, you know. And this way they got the guy who was doing this, and they started.
Because it's a white collar criminal, he didn't know what the fuck to do. He's like, I'm ratting on everybody.
Oh, he did, and
they sung like a canary.
And was wearing a wire.
He went undercover.
Yes, and and they literally taped the microphone to his chest. The whole thing.
The
He's
whole
going
nine.
and just to basically like
he's trying to turn in the Hell's Angels.
indict all these rich people. So that's how they got him too. Is that
nuts.
they worked their way backwards.
That is nuts.
I did feel bad. There was this one dodo crew coach that he pled out. He didn't end up doing jail time, but he was like house arrest for 2 years. But he never even profited himself off the money.
Oh man, he was just like a guy in between.
He didn't understand.
He's got to sign the paperwork.
He looked like he didn't understand what was going on. Like, even in his voice.
I know how to whoa.
It's
Me no whoa.
And basically, he was letting this guy's clients into the college, like he was doing it, but based on donations to the college.
So it was kind of like a passive, like a loose gatekeeper.
Yes,
kind of letting it roll.
But he never like got like
Right,
there was
right.
other coaches that personally made like hundreds of thousands
Yeah,
of
but he
dollars
just kinda
personally.
in it. Yeah.
But the college made like $2 million worth of donations, like and letting the kid. He didn't make anything, and the college kept the donation. Like they kept it, and it was like and they were saying it was a weird situation where this guy got under house arrest and had to pay a penalty, but he didn't benefit at all.
Is
Like,
she out
the
now?
college did,
Yeah, I
and
think
then
so.
he got nothing.
So the kids, and like that's does that stigma follow you to the next college?
Oh, they all didn't go to. They were never gonna go.
No,
or,
did they all decide
I don't know.
to not go? Because that would be interesting to see what.
They probably just move on with their
See,
rich
I
lives.
don't
You
feel
know, it's
like no, but to
Yeah,
go
they'll
back
be
to
fine.
to go back to what you were saying is like I honestly don't want to be.
Some of the kids didn't even know.
Right, I understand that,
Yeah.
but I also know that I'm not that type of parent where I'm gonna prop her up at all cost.
Yeah,
I'm not.
yeah.
I'm just not. And
I didn't realize they both went to prison.
Yep.
I thought
Yeah.
only she did. Okay.
Oh, no, Massimo got more time.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
Is he
yeah,
still
yeah.
in prison? Or he
No,
get out
no,
there?
they
It was
got
probably
out.
his finances. So like,
They
he
did
was-
small like, a month.
I mean, that's a party story, right?
What?
Like, I mean, you know.
Oh,
I
going to
mean,
prison. Yeah.
it's
Now
just
they'll
that's
laugh at cocktail parties
Yeah.
about it.
remember when we were in prison? Yes, it was dreadful.
I had Martha's cell.
I'm sure they're really embarrassed, though. You know,
Who
like
gives a
Initially,
fuck?
they are. Oh, rich people, if there's anything I know, initially they're ultimately embarrassed, but they rationalize it later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They get over it
They
because the
quickly
money.
get
I
over
don't
it on
even
their
count.
yacht.
Money
Like,
can
I bet
help
they
you.
rationalized it in the beginning of like, look, I was just trying to do the best for my kid. You know what
Well,
I
I
mean?
love that one. Like, I would do anything for my
Yeah.
child. Wouldn't you? I'm
Well,
like, I'm
what's-
not. I mean, I guess. I mean, I'm not.
I don't want to go to prison to try and get him into college.
I don't want to do anything that she's gonna look back on and be like, "Why did you do that?"
Right.
You know, like I don't want.
or what's in it? I mean, besides,
like
from,
Maisie
you know,
would look at me and be like, "What the hell are you doing? Why would you do that?"
It's funny. Some of the parents, they also employed a test taker, kind of like I did. I got
Nice.
Oh,
someone
yeah,
else
yeah,
there.
yeah.
And the test taker, they would say this person has like learning issue or whatever, or takes tests better. Like you could petition. It's like you could petition to anything, but like I have too much anxiety to take a time test, so they'll let you take an untimed test.
I wish I.
Where was this available?
I never got that.
I never fucking
They
got
locked
that.
me in the supply closet. I've told you guys that story. I had
'Cause
to
they-
take my test in the supply closet because I was a.
It's all about filling out the paperwork and knowing the whole process. Like the
Right.
guy would do it for you. You throw $100,000 at it. Anyway, so then the test taker would watch the person take a test, and the kid of the rich person would think they took the test, and then they turn it into the proctor, who was a guy that was working for this whole system, and then he would change her answers to the right answers. He didn't have the right answers, but he was just a smart guy that
Right,
knew how
right.
to take tests, and then he get paid for this, and then they turned it in, and then the kid would like look up their score and their
They're like,
ACT,
"Oh, I did great."
and they're like, I got a 28 out of a 31 or whatever it is.
So how do we know how any
no,
of
but,
these
like-
fucking tests are
Okay,
accurate?
And then they're like, I got into Stanford.
But pause for a second. That is crazy abuse to your kid, right?
Yes.
Like you're
making them
screwing
think
with their
that-
head.
yes.
Like you're like literally like there's
It's
a
a
lot
mental
of there's a
fuck.
lot of
Ah.
abuse out there, but like making your kid believe that they're like mega smart can be a really bad
yes,
idea.
it can. We know some of those megalomaniacs
it
that
be
think
a-
they're fucking geniuses. Nexium cult.
A really bad idea.
Yeah.
That's bad.
I mean, they got into school. They're like,
Oh,
oh,
I think
get.
Southern Kermit's calling.
Yeah, I wanted him. It's his birthday.
They're probably like, I guess right. Like, you know, you just fill in an answer.
Happy birthday, Southern Kermit. How you doing, buddy?
Good. Having to work, unfortunately.
What'd you say? You're 28?
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought you might have been older. I don't know why.
It's not
the
easy
Kermit
being
voice.
28.
Where are you working at, Kermit? Or don't tell us exactly where. What kind of work?
Beer distributor.
Nice.
You sound
Which
like a beer
one?
man.
Miller, Bud Light.
Bud Light.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Dilly dilly to you, sir.
Do you have that thing where you're not allowed to drink Miller Light, and if you they
Yeah.
find
If
out you
do,
drink it,
I'll
they
right up your frog ass.
No, my company's really chill on that. They'll just make fun of you if they see you drinking it.
All right.
So
So
it's not too bad.
Why are there so many rainbows?
What do you do? Drive around to different convenience stores and take the old product out, put the new, or what do you do?
I do the bars.
BARDA. Do they give
So
you
kind of like Butler used to do.
a monthly stipend?
Yeah, pretty much.
Kermit?
Kermit, do you want to work
No,
for us?
I drive a work car.
All right. Well, Kermit, it's
happiest of birthdays, my man. What are you gonna do? What's the big plan for tonight? What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna get drunk and shoot off fireworks.
No.
It's a little early. It's a little early. You might want to wait till Sunday.
It's my birthday. I do what I want.
All right.
All right. Fair enough. I like that. All right.
We'll talk to you later, Kermit.
All right. Bye.
See ya.
Hi-ho.
All right, let's get out of here. We went way too long.
Yeah, we did. We went way too
Wait, we
long.
haven't gone 3 hours yet.
Yeah,
the people want it.
Chat room's commenting
But
on
they're
how,
also not calling in the party line, so I
well,
don't
the
know
chat
what they
room's
want.
commenting on how hot Tom's wife looks.
Whoa.
Thank you.
In the background.
They were coming. My kids were
What?
here.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm
they-
screaming, fuck.
Your
kids were here?
Why?
Yeah, I was too. Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Anyway, semantics.
Yes. So tonight I'm going to be at Rock Pit Brewing if anybody wants to hang out.
Nice.
We're going to watch the Lightning game there. But this Sunday, another You Heard About This One is coming out. It will be a Derek hosted episode, and it's a bunch of different little sports conspiracies all mashed into one.
okay.
So check that out. Also, let me not forget that Derek won a contest in the BDM-CBE group, so he got to create his own beer. So he decided he's going to make a You Heard About This One beer. It's going to be at Dirty Org. It's going to be available next week. Of course, all this is not working now. It is a quadruple dry hopped hoppy lager. Up front, it will taste like a lager, and in the back, there will be a crisp, like an IPA, about 5 to 5.5 ABV. So check that out. It's called You Heard About This One. It will be at Dirty Org next week.
Cool.
Damn. If anybody snags that in
I'll probably be heading out there next weekend.
a crowler,
to grab
growler.
something.
Yeah, if you grab any, I would. I want to try that.
Check out all our watering holes, TomandDanWateringHoles.com. And we're gonna have some new merch coming up here in the next week. If you ordered a mystery box, we want it. Like, it went way faster than I thought. I was like, shut it down, stop.
Yeah, it was a shut it down scenario.
Yeah, you guys sold it out in like 2 hours.
People
in an hour actually
buying nothing more than our actual merch.
Well, no, this is gonna be fun though. This is like, and you know what sucks is I don't, like you said this morning, I don't know how often we're gonna be able to do this, or if we'll ever be able to do it again. But it's super fun because there's some really crazy things we're giving away in there.
Oh yeah. I mean, stuff we've accumulated over 10 years. So anyway, those will be mailed out next week.
Very special surprises, good shit that you will definitely like. One last thing, our buddy Steph with cheeseburgerbaby.net is she's literally streets away from the horrible complex or apartment complex or condominium collapse in Miami. Where there's still multiple hundreds, if not, people that are unaccounted for. She's feeding a lot of the people that are at the Chaplin Tower site. She's got her food trucks down there. They are making, full meals for these guys that are like lifting apparently all of this rubble by hand.
Yeah.
And she's down there. She's been working. There's close to 400 to 500 people. All 8 of the emergency response teams that Florida were on site. They're pulling 2 of them, I guess, to go make sure that we have some available for the hurricanes. But you can help out. And Sam, if you threw up the links in the old chat room. If you could just go to cheeseburgerbaby.net, and Steph is asking if you could just give a little bit to help feed these people that are down there trying to find survivors, pull bodies, give some closure, and help out. We would,
Yeah, and you can
greatly
donate
appreciate that.
via Venmo at
Venmo.
cheeseburgerbaby305.
Cheeseburgerbaby305 on Venmo is all you need to know.
That's my AOL email address.
Oh, that's weird. Are you trying to steal money? No, but it's like, what are the odds that we talked to her on a Weird Job Wednesday, and then here we are, and that's her hood, and people are hurting. And
it's crazy.
It is. It's beyond crazy. So if you can help out, that would be greatly appreciated. Anything else to hit?
Organic Meats. Definitely check them out. They have their meat special going on all weekend. Get it while they have it. They have a crazy special. And while you're there, tell them you're a Tom and Dan listener, and they have some swag.
Yeah. Meet the family. They're great folks.
Yeah.
All right. Happy 4th of July to everybody. Be safe this weekend.
Yes, sir.
Don't drive drunk, and we'll see you next week.
I can't publish that. It's mediocre.